Why is the Orbathon paused? Let me fix that. Goddamn. Yo, what's up? Yo, welcome back to stream. Welcome back to VOD. Hello, good morning. What's up, guys? Stream elements. Let's resume our Orbathon. All right, this is important. This is important. Oh, what the fuck? This is important. Evan Blair art. Process. Let's just say. Control panel, and continue. What the? Did it just jump? Okay, you know what? Seems like it's working. Good to see you guys. Hello. What is up? What's good? What's chilling? What's going on? Man. What a week, huh? Finally back to streaming. Orbathon's continuing. Didn't I start the Orbathon on the day 1 of 2026? We're on day 11. You know what I said when on January 1st, I said that streams up until May would be sporadic. So you know what? I'm not going to feel bad about it. Good morning, Milky Sama. Good to see you. Good morning, Soul. Good morning, Saffron. What's up, Crimson? What's going on, guys? Good to see you, Steve, Cow, Vixen. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Greg. What's up, guys? I leave for so long and Evan forgot how to intro. What do you mean I forgot how to intro? I don't know what that means, but good to see you, Crimson. How you been, buddy? I'm here for Sir Evan of Eldara. First of his name, Sketcher of Teor Pride Sire, breaker of orbs, creator of lands, knower of art seekers. Listen, I am more than a simple anthro artist, okay? I am more than just somebody who draws hot lion men. Today, I will be someone who draws hot half-elven men, okay? Let's not fuck around here. This is a code red. This is an emergency. This week, well, not this week, several months ago, somebody actually asked me on coffee, they requested that I draw a man. So today's a big deal, right? Listen, I don't get to do this very often. So we gotta be taking this seriously. One day I'll be a real artist like Zeromi. So come bearing news of illness that sweeps the lands. Be wary of this plague, my lord. I was sick for around 3-4 weeks already this year, and I still have, you know, the cough, the sniffles, all that kind of stuff. I talked to my doctor and he said, get bent, stupid nerd. What are you gonna do, loser? So and also it was really bad because apparently getting sick when you're pregnant is really bad. So Ella couldn't do shit besides just sit there and feel not good. Mel, what's up? Hello.
Hi, Evan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good,
Smile.
bro. I'm good. I'm chilling, man. I found my fucking book cutter. There you go. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cool. It's so good. I'm doing well, Mel. How you doing, bro? How you been? Cooking up some crazy, delicious, high-protein buffalo chicken wraps for meal prep right now. Perfect entertainment while I work. You know, honestly, Greg, that's a great meal idea. If only I could eat spicy food. If only my stomach tolerated it. I used to love it. I would just put hot sauce on chicken and eat that for a full year, and this would all be easier. But here we are, not doing that. So I'm glad to hear you're doing some meal prep, bro. What is December coffee drawings? They are imminent. I mean, we're working on order. Brooklyn, I'm taking a bit of a breather on Brooklyn's piece. We're gonna finish this, do one more, and then finish Brooklyn. So wherever the list is, I'm just going up it, bro. I'm just doing one thing at a time. So should be pretty quick here. I think this one was November or December, so we should be around there. Hopping your stream for the first time months. My first thought is I want to be as good as Evan. What are you talking about, Zeroni? What the fuck? One day I'll be a real artist like you. What's up, Say? How you doing? Good morning. Speaking of real artists, my warm up streamer, my streamer, my Oshi, as they say for VTubers.
Fronts are washing ashore.
Say, what's up, dude?
Sayek shrimp.
What's good? How you doing, Say? What's up? How was stream? What'd you do today? I didn't get to hang out with you this morning. I'm sorry. I was very busy this morning. I was taking care of some things for Ella. You know, she's very demanding this late into her trimesters, so I needed to attend to the wife this morning instead of sitting around playing Diablo 2 whilst watching your stream being inspired. So you know, I guess that's on me. I'll take the hit. But if you guys aren't following Say, please go follow Say. Say's amazing. Say's my warm-up streamer in the morning. What's up, Dark? Good to see you, man. So yeah, man, lot of stuff. Coffee coming up.
Why? I don't want it. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate Evan.
Surely, I was in a good mood this morning, man. I haven't talked to Miniful in months. And every time I hear her voice, it's her calling me stupid. Oh, God. That's a lot of bits, though. Thanks, Dark. Thanks, man. Thanks for pushing the Orbathon over 92 hours again, because God forbid the Orbathon go below 90. That's our goal today, is for the Orbathon to not hit 100 hours. So all bits and subs are banned for the rest of the week. Ella is pregnant. Yes,
How
Croc.
exhaustingly predictable. But then I suppose failure comes naturally to your kind.
Calling me stupid. Saturday Nathras calling me a failure. Okay, all right. Hey, yo, thanks for the bits, Dark. Just no TTS. Just the digging dagger of judgment straight into my chest, straight in there, straight to the heart, and then and that's it. That's it. So thanks for the bits, though, Dark. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I see with your scathing criticisms of me as a human morally through alerts that I set up. I see you're doing well today. So congrats. Thanks, Croc. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, she's doing May. I announced it a while ago, but I didn't like do a public Discord, you know, Twitter thing. I just talked about it in the stream one day. So a lot of people don't know. It'll just be one day I'll just post a picture on Twitter of me and tiny little Evan. So, you know, need to get you this time. Necromancer has had a battle with Monsty on my stream last week. What kind of battle? What kind of a battle is this? Like a pithy fucking TTS battle, a insulting alert battle, or a Beyblade battle? Because when you say battle, that can mean anything. And if it's Necromancer Dark, I assume it's Beyblades. Gifted subs. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, Dark's never not gonna win. Look, Dark's not gonna back down. Never challenge Dark. Now, if Dark wants to have a battle with somebody else and on your stream and the gifted subs are to you, say, good luck. Good luck. Hope you have a strong heart. Congratulations on accepting. I hope everything's going wonderfully. Yeah, Zeromi. Thank you.
I volunteer as tribute for the battle. Looks at the gifted sub portion. I am too poor. Godspeed, say D.
There's no battle. Okay, chill, Mel. Thanks for 100 bits. But yeah, Zeromi, I think things are going well. Ella's healthy, baby's healthy. Last couple weeks were a little, you know, if anyone's been through the whole pregnancy thing or whatever, you know, third trimester can come with some trials and some very scary trials. So the last couple weeks have been very anxiety inducing for me, and lots of appointments and hospital visits and emergency rooms and stuff like that for Ella and I. So, but she's good now. She's not happy. She's too pregnant to be happy, but she's healthy. Baby's healthy, kicking her ass. Baby's just doing fucking nunchuck taekwondo in there, beating the shit out of her. So she is like waiting, just waiting to get this little guy out of her. But yeah, she's healthy. Baby's healthy. That's all that matters. All that matters. Oh man, that woman. What? For Monsty win against him. I was shocked she went that far. How far did she go? Bro, did they beat a gifted sub record in your stream? Because this gifted sub records are an important thing to never touch or mention when Dark's around. That's yeah, you gotta be careful. So anyway, somebody asked me to draw a man, if you can believe it. Somebody actually asked me to draw a man and a half elf. But I was thinking, we need to talk about half elves. We need to chat about half elves because I'm not entirely convinced half elves are cool again. I've been seeing them pop up here and there. I've been seeing a couple of little things with half elves, just, you know, I've been seeing characters, requests, whatever, but I'm wondering if they're coming back for some reason. Now, I'm not caught up on the most recent Critical Role campaign, right? I'm about 3 episodes behind, maybe 4, I think 3. So maybe there's some half elf things going on in there, but I've been hearing more half elf lore, and I have a request for a half elf. Now, this half elf has cut the shit out of his ear to look human, and there's not a whole lot of elven features we can throw in a half elf to make him obviously a half elf, but I'll do my best. Yeah, and then we'll do some runes today. Actually, we'll finish the runes, we'll finish the sketchbook. Bro, I will not end stream until I'm caught up on every last project that I need to do. That's right, I'm streaming for 75 days straight, apparently. So, half elves are funny because in old D&D, the dwarf and half elf had a child. They'd make a dwelf, which is the worst of an elf mixed with the worst of a dwarf, basically a human. Yeah, I honestly half-breed species / races in D&D. I'm not touching it for Eldara, because if you take the logical interbreeding of D&D races / species to its natural conclusion, you get some pretty fucked up stuff happening, okay? No one's lineage, because don't forget, you have to answer a couple of very difficult questions here one way or another, and nobody wants to answer those questions. When posed with them honestly, nobody wants to have the conversation on what it actually means to have intermixing with your D&D or not. So, for Eldara, I have simplified the genetic rules. The biological mechanics of interbreeding in D&D Eldara Edition are as such. The blood of the mother carries to the child. Human mom, human dad, human baby. Human mom, elf dad, human baby. Human dad, half dragon mom, half dragon baby. Is that a thing? Absolutely not. But it's just easier that way. I'm not worried about halves. There's no halvesies in Eldara. Half elf, half dwarf, half drow, half asleep, half drunk. There's no half. It's just easier this way. And every criticism I've received, Evan, you're missing the point of half. No, I'm not. You're stupid. I'm right. Get bent. This is the best way to do it. That's my general stance on it for critique on the internet for whenever I have my half discussions coming up. So yeah, no, it's just easier this way. Trust me, in every single way, to just say the blood of the mother transfers down to the blood of the child. So do we miss out on a cute little dwarf kid with fucking blue eyes and blonde hair and leaves and shit growing out of their arms? Maybe. I don't care. I'm right. The internet's wrong. Get bent. I'm not gonna budge on this one either. I've thought about this way too many times. I've spent way too long considering it and debating with fucking glass adjusting neck beards on the internet about it. So it was interesting. Just do the way Game of Thrones does it. Hair color means correct lineage or something. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if your hair color is pretentious enough, you get to rule the kingdom or some shit. Never understood how Hera was the accuracy, or was the accuracy, but for the lack of paternity tests, I suppose that's all they had. I think you're right. Yeah, probably somewhere in there. That was oof, man. It was a weird time. Look, there's lots of romanticization of the medieval era that we do for fantasy, including, you know, modern plumbing, bathing, things like that we don't necessarily have historically accurate. And I think paternal honesty is one of those things that we just sort of sweep under the rug, you know, or whatever. One of those world building conversations. Yeah, I'm sure I would actually, honestly, Samurai, you're probably one of the few opinions that I think have people's opinions who I think have been formed in more thought than mine has. If anybody, I would assume, has talked about this more than I have thought about it, it'd be you. So I'd be curious where you landed on the whole thing. When I was in high school, I made a world where only sentient creatures were horses and dragons. Had to figure out when eggs versus live born would happen and how wings would work on newborn offspring. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just simplifying it, man. You know, blood of the mother. That's it. Have you the public acknowledgement that sometimes races are horny between each other because you look at the family, man. You look at the happy couple. You look at dad and you look at mom and you're like, wow, you went far out of your way to go, you know, taste the wells of foreign fields, as it were. Studley, have a good life. Yeah. We're not going to worry about it. Only option seems to be you get 100% of one or the other randomly. Maternal seems easier though. Yeah, well, the problem is that if you have complete intermixing, here's the basic, like, I'm memeing around this, but the basic problem comes, and the conversation that nobody wants to have is if you have intermixing and you have also a long-lived fantasy world of like 10,000 years of dwarvish empires, and then the kingdoms of man arose on the mountain top and descended down to the valleys, while the tieflings above and the devas and everyone else came to this world. If you have a world with a very long history and everyone is intermixing, then you're just gonna get kind of like a grayish red skin toned kind of horn nub, maybe tail nubbed, pointed ear version of a person. You're not going to have any sort of like purebred, pure-blooded humans or elves or whatever. And if you're like, well, no, I mean, there'd be plenty after 10,000 years of intermixing. There'd be plenty of people that prefer their own kind. Is that the conversation you want to have, internet? I don't think so. No one's ready for that fucking conversation either. Why don't the humans interbreed with elves? Because they don't like the pointy-eared fucking, leaf munchers out there. What? What? They prefer their own kind? The tieflings don't want to breed with the dwarves? This social issue is something that's far too complicated for me to dig into for my world building, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna say everybody gets along with everybody, and guess what? The fucking blood of the mother, and that's it. That's it. Come from me, internet. You're wrong, Reddit. Get bent. We'll just sit here talking shit about Reddit for the next 3 hours. It'll be fine. I think Tasha's tried to do a whole dice setup for how lineage happens in D&D. Yeah, and it was awkward, clunky, and pretty shit, in my opinion. I think a lot of the more recent rules around lineage and ancestry and things like that the Wizards has implemented have been performative and pretty shit, to be honest. But then again, I've also realized that maybe the average D&D player is actually a shirt-chewing window licker. And at that point in time, if I'm like, maybe when I look at the rules that Tasha's introduces and that D&D tries to like push forward to make a more comprehensive character building experience by giving you the permission to do what you want, maybe to me that seems a little bit like, I didn't need your fucking permission to do what I want in the first place, Wizards, an Imagination Dragon game. But again, maybe the shirt-chewing window lickers are just too aplenty in D&D, and they just needed permission desperately to be an orc with elvish traits. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, I don't know. Like seriously, it's just been a strange kind of like thing for D&D lineage discussion, things like that. So I don't know, man. I ain't worried about it. I'm just doing my own thing. What was great grandpa and the Firefly? Oh, well, you know, listen, we've all got that ancestor from Scotland, okay? We don't need to worry about it. Wonder Bread is boring anyway. Give me nubbin people. Grayish red, horn nub, pointed ear, kind of like aliens. That's what we're gonna get after smashing every fantasy race together for 10,000 years. So that's what you want. Hey man, I can't stop you. I completely agree with you. Fuck those leaf munchers. Damn. Dark hates elves and vegans, apparently. I had no idea Dark had such a strong opinion against elves and vegans, but look, fair enough. He is a necromancer after all. Good morning, Sabine. We are still Santa-ing. What? You mean the mods never changed the emote back, even though I never asked them to, and it's completely my sole responsibility to change the emote back? You mean that never happened? That's insane. I'm gonna make a note for that for some point in time this week. Change emotes back. All right, it's officially on the notepad. There it is. It's on the notepad. That's how you know it's real. Just got off a work call with one of my favorite adorable old men. He always cuts off my name, so saying Sabi instead of Sabine, and always ends with call me with a call with bye now. That's adorable. I like endearing old men and endearing old women. You know, grandfatherly and grandmotherly old people is the best way to age gracefully, I think. That's great.
Hey,
yes,
Evan.
that's
good
me. Hi.
To see you back.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yes.
Why? I don't want it. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate Evan.
Make a note to make that alert more expensive. Okay, great. That's fucking fantastic. Thanks, Dark. Thanks for reminding me of my fucking place in the circle of life. I mean, as long as it's internally consistent camp, then it's let's pretend anything the mass market has got to kind of dodge the question to maintain an SFW rating. Most of the time it comes down to marketing questions rather than creative ones for a lot of people. And AO3 will write whatever they want anyway. It can be damned. That's true. Maybe that's the whole problem here, is that I'm not fancying it away enough and putting too much
so you're
reliance
saying
on
I
AO3.
should smoke 'em if I got 'em? Gotcha.
Why? I don't want it. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate Evan.
Well, there goes my positive self-talk for the entire week. Yo, thanks for 666 bits, Dark. That's crazy, man. That's like a full Taco Bell meal in Canada. Thanks, dude. I'll be sure to take Ella out for Taco Bell. Anyway, we've got a hot elf to draw today, and it's not a portrait of Cookie Mon Steve this time. So, all right. We got a D&D ass character here. Yeah, there's two types of characters that I get from descriptions standpoint. Two kinds of requests. As a professional artist, as a real artist, not a wannabe pretender, professional. I get two kinds of requests. I get character requests and D&D ass requests.
Good point, Evan. Treat
Yes.
Ella like she deserves and go get her some Taco Bell. Here, get her something nice.
Why? I don't want it. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate Evan.
I was gonna aggressively sip my tea, and then I realized that I finished it. So, Just you fucking. All right. Thanks for the 666 bits, Dirk. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, man. Surely you must be close to your next crumb at this point in time. How many beers is the character gonna have? None at all. So when I say a D&D ass character, I mean this with the most amount of love in my heart that I can say. Sometimes it sounds like we're making fun of this kind of stuff. We're not. I love this shit. A character with, like, you know, a peg leg, half their jaw missing, a fucking glass arm, a tail made of gold, a set of bagpipes, a unicorn horn sticking out of their shoulder, armor made from the wings of fairies, like, just the most amount of fucking character, like, the kind of characters that if you have character creation, you don't ever not check a box or move a slider. These characters, that's a D&D ass character. Okay, there's characters that are like the more narrative ones. Hey, I want a guy who looks like he's been through it. He's the son of a duke, and he's dressed fairly well, and he's got some issues. He's got to have that look in his eyes, and you're like, I'm on it. I got you. We're gonna do this. And then there's the fucking VTuber style characters with every silly fucking toggle turned on, and I love it. And so I haven't had a D&D ass character, but this character's description made me happy. Male half drow, not a half elf. Fucking weirdos. This is serious dark fantasy. Half drow. Get your fucking elves out of here. This is serious. Drow. Do drow have any markings on their body? Like, do drow have any tattoos or anything I should know about? Or they're just dark, like gray skinned elves? Because that's what I assume. But I'm just realizing right now that maybe I need to actually do some research here. Okay. 2 birthmarks. One looks like a burn under their right ear by their jaw. Okay. Now there's a mole on their left cheek. Mole. Check. Got it. Ooh. There we go. Dark red hair with a solid white streak, buzzed underneath and tied in a bun on top. One ear is crudely scarred and cut from trying to make himself look more human. One blue eye, one dark red. Multiple small scars that look like liquid mercury. Stone cold serious expression. Skin tone should be close to, and then a hex code for a deep gray. Now my question here, we've got our birthmark, we've got our alternate colored eyes, we've got our stone cold expression, we've got our slender drow features, we've got our cut ear, we've got our man bun buzz underneath, we've got a lot of these features. We need to do our white streak through the hair. The one thing I'm wondering is, what the fuck does a liquid mercury scar look like? Hold on, liquid mercury. What does a liquid mercury scar look like? Because it just kind of forms a little bubbly boy, a little wobbly globule, right? Like, when I see liquid mercury, I think of like tech and marketing from 2001. All right, that's what I think of. I don't know. Well, what if I search for? Am I going to regret searching liquid mercury scar? I might regret this. Ew. Ooh, that's nasty. Yeah, I regret searching that. All right, I'm gonna do my best for that one. We're gonna give them little. I don't know if it describes where the scars are. Liquid. Multiple small scars look like liquid mercury. So I'm guessing we're just gonna do some little tiny. Give them some little globule scars here that kind of look like they're burns, kind of across the body. Like maybe there's something in the story where like molten metal was tossed upon his body, splashed upon his face, or some shit. like that. That's what I'm assuming. That'd be the kind of like, that'd be the kind of traumatic D&D backstory I'd expect for a half drow. So we're gonna do our best for this one. First thought was Critical Role Campaign 2 Bo Genderbont. I don't know what that is. Come on, let's get serious here. I don't know who that character is. That's does kind of look like a gender bent bow, doesn't it? Actually, I will say the man bun undercut is very much been co-opted by Beauregard in D&D, and there's nothing we can do about it, Sabine. So details should make him different. I'm hoping. Because if they don't, and I get, well, honestly, okay, you want to hear a dark psychology for growth on YouTube and Twitch, and, well, not Twitch, sorry, YouTube and TikTok and things like that. A dark psychology trick that I don't personally implement, but if it happens, I am amused by it when I see it. That is to have your character or something or concept look or sound very similar to something else. Okay? Because you'll activate the neurons in people that want to be clever, want to be seen as you know, I guess clever is the right word there. And they will point out the, you know, the similarity, right? You see this all the time. When somebody, this is one of the most frustrating things that I've had to deal with when discussing world building ideas, is when you have something that is a new idea that you're trying to express and you're trying to show off and you're trying to develop, and somebody simplifies it down to a very basic derivative form, right? You have like the Astral Knights, this order of like kind of monastic East meets West monks, formatted with the tradition and rigidity of a Western monastic kind of paladin-like order of knights, with the Eastern tradition of more of a monastery kind of temple type thing, spirituality and connectedness, oneness, sort of like Zen and Tao mixed with sort of a kind of religiosity, and you're kind of trying to put this all into this like order, and you have somebody sitting there loudly chewing their fucking food being like, oh, that's just Jedi, that's just fantasy Jedi, oh, okay, I got it, I got it. And you want to strangle this person. But the reason they do this, the reason people do this kind of shit, is because it is recognizing a pattern. It's solving a puzzle. And we can't help but want to solve puzzles, right? This is why, if you want to know how this marketing is done, seriously, using this kind of dark psychology in marketing, how this is used properly, look at mobile game ads, right? You watch a mobile game ad and you see somebody playing the game poorly, and they like make a decision, and you're like, that was the wrong decision. What? Now, the general public here, when they are exposed to such a incompetent series of decisions in a very simple game, they think to themselves, this was so easy. How did they screw it up? I must be smart and clever because I knew what you weren't supposed to do, and I'm going to prove it to myself and to this game. So you go download the game and you buy and you play the game, the mobile game, right? And now you're sucked in, you're in, all right? That's how it works, man. And the same thing can be used with videos. So if I created a character, and I did this a while ago unintentionally, this is when I realized this really happened. I made a cleric, a video where I had a cleric concept. And the cleric concept was that she was a cleric, but she wanted to rebel against her god. So she wanted to be kind of punk rock and like, you know, rebellious, and she wanted to go find an otherworldly patron, and become a warlock and use eldritch magic and foul, profane rituals. And so she went out and sought out a patron. And the patron she sought out was her trickster goddess disguised, and basically pretending to be an eldritch patron, and giving her basically reskinned cleric spells, but making them feel evil and fiendish. And so she thinks she's being this like maniacal warlock and rebelling against her church, but it's really her trickster god kind of like snickering and rolling his eyes as she like is just being a good cleric, right? And I got, because you had female cleric and trickster god, I got so many comments in that video of people saying, that's just Jester, crying, laughing emoji. Oh my God, that's just Jester. Oh, Jester mentioned? Because people are stupid and they want to feel clever. And so when I can't stand that. I can't stand those comments. It's so annoying. So I will never intentionally do this, okay? For views, for fucking clicks, because people will comment then, that's just Jester, and then all these websites see, wow, this video is getting a lot of comments, we're going to serve it to more people. So engagement is you're farming engagement from people that want to feel clever. That's what's happening. And so if it happens unintentionally, I think it's funny now. All right? And so if I do this character, this piece, and it looks similar enough to Gender Bent Beauregard, and I make a very small comment in here about how I'm doing like a monk or something like that, and I reference something vague about monks or something like that with the undercut, buzzed, whatever, fucking man bun, I'm gonna get comments. That video is gonna do real well because there's gonna be a lot of people that are so desperate to tell me and to let the internet know that they are clever enough to see the pattern between this character and the other thing that they thought. So maybe I should do this. What I don't know is I have no idea what this character's class is or what they're wearing. Did they write this? Male half drow with 2 birthmarks. One looks like a burn under their right ear by the jaw, the other mole on their left cheek, dark red hair with 1 solid white streak buzz underneath and tied in a bun on top. 1 ear is cruelly scarred and cut from trying to make himself look more human. Blue eye, dark red, multiple scars across, look like liquid mercury. So we have no idea what this character's class is. Which means, what the fuck do I dress him in? I guess I just put him in like a basic kind of shirt or something like that. I guess we just give him like kind of a open, I don't know, loose collar, whatever type thing, and call it a day. Because if I don't know what to do for them, I don't want to do anything that's like, I don't want to put him in armor or whatever. I don't want to give him like a, you know, equipment or anything like that. And normally I try to for these characters, right? I try and give them some sort of like details, you know, or whatever. But I guess not for our boy here. I guess we're just gonna give him a. We'll focus on the portraiture for this character, okay? We'll focus on the important details then, and we'll just hope that that's good enough for our illustrious client. I've honestly tried to let go of and tried to be very de-stressed about whether or not I get characters entirely, you know, perfectly correct for people. Because I think I've outlined basically pretty clearly that, like, hey, if there's something that you want, you have to list it. And if you don't, like, I'm going to just kind of like make up my own filler. And what I've realized is a lot of people like that. A lot of people have like kind of like, I used to kind of stress about it. And like, I'd send people messages and be all nervous and like, oh, you didn't tell me like what they're wearing or whatever. But what I've realized is a lot of people kind of like the, well, I don't know, you're the artist, man. You fucking design something. And I realize that's kind of the I don't know, what's the word, the expectation that I try and set to begin with. So, you know, maybe it's just best to chill and not worry about it too much and just, you know, do the best I can and hopefully they're happy or whatever. I don't know how we're gonna do this cut ear. Because the problem is a lot of like the kind of features of an ear have to do with like folds and stuff that you kind of you can like, I guess they said crudely cut. So just kind of like saw it off the top of, as opposed to, you know, any sort of scarring or shaping. This is not detailed fantasy plastic surgery. which was a funny conversation I had at a table once. I used to do this I used to have this like meme of being the arbiter of all D&D at the game store that I used to work at. It was like a stupid kind of like Tim the Enchanter fucking skit thing where people would bring their D&D disputes to me at the card desk, and I would give them an official ruling of the official rules of D&D of how to do it. And I remember somebody once, like them and their friend came down from like upstairs where the customers all playing D&D, whatever, on a Saturday, and they were getting some snacks and stuff. So they waddled back to the back part of the store where I was at the card desk, and they were like, "Oh, great and mighty arbiter of all D&D, we need a ruling on something." I was like, "Okay, what doth thine request is upon my altar of knowledge?" They said, "How does plastic surgery work in D&D?" I was like, "What?" Well, my character got like disfiguring scars from this like event where the villain, like, you know, instead of killing them, they just like, you know, scarred them and disfigured them and whatever, and it was a whole thing. They're like, "Can I go get magical plastic surgery in D&D?" Like, what? Well, I don't know, man. What the fuck? Like, in a world with magic and transfiguration and whatever, can we change our appearance permanently? Like, damn, bro. Probably. Yeah, man. Why not? I guess. Sure, if you have the gold. I'm sure there's some bored cleric out there that's willing to do it. The DM did not like this because the DM had intentionally disfigured them so that they were to remember their defeat as a consolation for not being able to kill their characters off, because apparently they were the kind of person that did not want their characters killed off for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we give him some scars and we'll just assume that he couldn't get them fixed up or whatever. I've discovered Skeb art, I think. Yeah, that's basically so that's the way I do my commissions now, is Skeb style. So I don't really like, I will do a in before it's Fjord, yeah, thanks. I will do the rare commission where I will let somebody art direct me, but the problem is that I have to charge so much more for those style of commissions, like a proper commission, because of the time it takes to do revisions and to talk to a client and go back and forth and email, that I don't think a lot of people think it's worth it. You know, I haven't offered them in a while, but I'm so much happier doing Skev style, and people who I'm doing them for seem to like them and like the process. So, you know, it's working out for me right now. I might open up formal commissions at some point in time in like April-ish, for a little while, just to make sure if anybody really wanted something specific that they could get it. But I've really like Soul, you will understand this more than most people who hear me complain about this and fucking whine and bellyache. I cannot stand being art directed by somebody that I don't think knows how to art direct. Like, I don't just want to say a bad art director, because bad art directors are awful, but I can't even tolerate a non-art director art directing, right? That's how whiny I am, you know? So I can't yeah, that's like one of those things that I think that some people can kind of like, some artists are very good at being able to kind of like chill and blow off and whatever. For me, I don't know what it is about it. I just can't get over it. Like, it bothers me so much. It's one of the reasons why I don't work for like a real company or whatever, because I've had good and bad art directors. I've had really profoundly good art directors, and they make all the difference. And I've also had really bad art directors that have made me never want to draw again. And not like mean or malicious art directors, just bad at art direction. And so the problem is that when you do a full commission, you're kind of letting somebody art direct you. And fair enough. Look, if you're paying money for a character and you're paying good money for it, you should be able to be as micromanagey and nitpicky as you want. Absolutely. 100%. You should be able to do that. It's your money. But I'm not the artist for that anymore. I have ascended past that. Like for my own career where I don't have to get those kind of clients anymore. I can open up my coffee requests and get, fill them up whenever I want. If I post on fucking TikTok, requests open, they'll be gone in literally hours, if not by the next morning. So because I don't have to be art directed anymore, I am happy to not do it like almost at all. So yeah, the Skeb styles, like most people don't know what Skeb style is. So it's like, oh, you say, oh, this is a Skeb style commission. People are like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, it's exactly it, is a Skeb style thing. So fake contract would be my suggestion. Find a hag and ask for a disguised self to be permanent. It shouldn't cost too much. Except you're making a deal with a hag. So I actually had to draw a hag. Is that against my NDA? It wouldn't have been against my NDA if I didn't question if it was against my NDA. Anyway, I had to do a project recently where I had to draw a hag. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun, actually. I had a good time doing it. So I can't wait for you guys to see those pieces. I do those art director type commissions, and it's really time consuming. Just finished one last week that took 48 hours for one scene illustration. Luckily, the client is very talented cinematographer and a very valid reaction or redirections. It can be humbling to have clients that in some ways know more about your work, how your work should be done than you do. Yeah, which is the thing. A great art director is phenomenal to work for. I love it. But the way I'm like, where I'm kind of at in my career, I think I'm only really willing to be art directed by art directors. So I just finished the biggest single project that I've ever done for any one client. Yeah, as an artist. Not like I've done much bigger graphic designer projects in my early 20s that were like, $20,000 fucking multiple month projects. I've had projects where the budget that I've had to manage was like well over 100 grand, and I had to like build a team and stuff. So I'm not scared of big projects. But as an artist, I just finished the biggest project I had ever done for somebody else. And I got to work with a really great art director, actually two really great art directors at a really great, like real fucking ass RPG company. This is like a big deal for me. This is like this summer when you guys can finally see what the project is. I'm so excited for this. This is fucking crazy. But it's such a nice experience to work with great art directors that it's like I can't do it anymore if it's not like a really good art director. So I don't think I trust the public, and this sounds pretentious and kind of whiny and stuff, and it is why I'm not trying to shy away from using that fucking self-deprecating terminology, as it is just whiny. But I've worked very hard, I think, to be able to afford myself to be whiny about it, so I think that I might be kind of just like completely fucking finished with those kind of clients, because like you said, when you have a client that's really good, it inspires you. But man, if you give too much power of art direction to a client that's not a good art director like that, you should do 48 hours of work for somebody that just is a nightmare to work with like that. Zeromi, I cannot recover from something like that. That makes me not want to draw for like 2 weeks. And like, holy shit, it's just destructive for me. So I'm not as resilient, I think, as I should be. I'm a terrible art director for commissions because I feel like I'm too picky. Do my best to dial it back, but tangent lines, man, I never want to see them. That's fair. Look, there's technical stuff like that, There's technical shit, so we ain't worried about it. That's fine. Well, let me just do some intersecting or, close-knit tangent lines. Okay, hold on. We're going to have one dark red eye. And we're going to have our light eye here. And then what else are we missing? We've got our Mercury scars. We're going to keep them all kind of going in this direction so they look kind of intentional or whatever. And then are we missing anything else? We've got a scar that's on the other jaw, so we're not worried about that. We've got our mole on our left cheek. I think we're good. All right. I'm going to make this an undersketch and hit my record button. Undersketch. Double it up. Delete. Sketch. And hit record. All right. All right. One and done. One shot, this bad boy. Ooh. Line work. Here we go. Client is well informed, so I'm lucky, but it's a breath of fresh air when I do work for people who let me call 90%, 5% of the shots. Yeah, it's nice to do both, right? And I still will happily work with like art directors and stuff when I feel like I can kind of get behind a project. But I just think that like I'm not trusting a random person from TikTok DMs anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not putting trust in in people to be cool to work with unless I know them. Like it might be the kind of thing that I only do like kind of like proper like full commissions with people from stream that I know, because at least then I can kind of like, there's people in my chat, there might be people here right now that I know that I would never fucking work for, right? There's other streamers, good friends of mine, that I have realized I would happily do a project for you, but I would never work for you and do a full commission, right? That would not go well. We would not be having a good time here. I know it's true, and I'm not, you know, pretending that I'm not gonna say, hey, yeah, I'll do this, sure. Because I know it'd be a bad time. But there's a lot of people that I would that might be in this chat that I would do stuff for, that I know are fantastic, you know, creatives and have great ideas that we get along with. It's like basically how much do you kind of like agree with the person on design choices? How close are you going to be on certain ideas, so you don't have to like kind of worry about needing to alter and change things in ways that are like lesser designs just to handle someone's picky kind of details they need in there or whatever. You feel called out? What are you talking about, Dark? I didn't say anything about you. What do you mean, dude? I don't think I've ever done a formal commission for you, have I? I think just some requests, right? How would I even know, dog? The method nowadays for a commission to do is basically get a written contract with the artist for what I can request to be revised, how many revised requests I have, and at what point.
Bivandal jammies.
Yo, dude, Cass, thanks for the Prime. Thank you for considering me your Prime option for 13 months, dude. I appreciate that. At what point should ask for their preferences of liberty for artistry, to let them cook with recipes provided, not chef looking over their shoulder 24/7. Sure, yeah, that's great. Yeah. Right? I never want to do the industry standard of, oh, you think your shot is good, allow me to pixel fuck the entire thing and find any pixel that's off color to knock you down a peg. Yeah, I mean, the worst type of client, I think, is the type of client that is somebody who kind of like, I don't know how to word this like nicely, but they kind of get off on being in control, you know? Like, I have learned the hard way how to make a good set of rules for myself and for how to describe to clients like things that I do and won't do. And like, I had to, for instance, I have a rule that I will not work for parties. I won't work for groups, because I did a commission a while ago, like years ago, for a streamer and their D&D group. And I, so, you know, had to meet 5 or 6 people and get their character requests from them, the descriptions. And almost the entire group was cool. One of the, like 2 or 3 of the guys were just like, hey man, you're the artist, like make a cool design. And I'm like, okay, fuck yeah. Another person was like more interested in kind of like working with me on the process. They kind of want to hop on a Discord call, and that's cool too. I have nothing wrong, nothing against that. I kind of like it. And it was all over. There was like one client, one of the clients was a little bit picky, and it was kind of like, like, okay, all right, you know, this is fine. But the last one was, she was so insufferable. I wanted to fire her so bad. I wanted to be like, no, this is dumb. I'm sorry. Like obviously whenever you fire a client, you do it as nicely as possible and you take the blame yourself. You take your responsibility. Even if it's their fault, it's just easier for you to defuse them by taking the blame. And you're like, hey, you know, I realize I don't think I'm the artist for you. I think that for you to get what you deserve and what you want, I think you need somebody else. I'm so sorry that I can't do that for you. Thank you for your consideration. Sorry for any time that you've wasted. on this project with me, but I think for both of our sakes, we should probably both just move on, and I can find other clients and you can find whatever, and blah, 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 and it's great. And you fire your fucking client. And I learned, this is one thing I didn't have to learn the hard way, because I learned this in graphic design. I learned how to fire clients in graphic design. So I'm glad I know how to do that. But the problem is that I was trapped now, because I had a whole party and 5 of the 6 people were super cool. And the one person was such an insufferable sack of shit that it made me not want to draw for almost a month. Like, I was like, when I was done that project, I was like, fucking, I don't want to do this, man. I was like drawing for stream and just like, I wasn't taking commissions. I was just mad. And I realized to never get myself in that situation ever again, I can never work for clients sight unseen. So I was never going to do that again, unless it's obviously a Skeb style thing, which was a later evolution. But part of that is like learning how to pick your clients and how to pick your process and stuff like that. You know, through the growth process. And I think you need to fuck it up. You need to like make your mistakes. People will try and tell you how to do it right, but I think it's better to go and, you know, do it, make the mistake yourself. You're never going to really learn if you don't make the mistake yourself. And so for a lot of clients that I've learned to kind of like, I've learned to now identify better when a client is just somebody who really wants to kind of be in control and somebody who like wants you to work for them. And we used to have a term for this in graphic design called creative hands. So basically, you have a client that basically says, hey, I'm not a graphic designer. My goal is to make more money and run a business. And you're like, great, cool. They're like, you're the expert. I'm hiring you to create the brand for this project. And you're like, beautiful. Do you have any input? And they're like, no, I want it to reach the right audience, the best, and look the whatever. So that's your fucking job. And I'm willing to pay you a lot of money to do that. And you're like, beautiful. I'm the expert. You're deferring to the expert. I'll tell you what it looks like. They don't give a fuck about it, right? Past whether or not it works or not. The thing is that when you have a creative hands client, that's somebody who says, I'm the expert. I know everything. I'm going to tell you what to do and micromanage and nitpick every single little detail. That's totally fine too. Because typically they're also people who are very in graphic design, in like proper corporate graphic design, they are usually very important. They're usually they're key to their business or whatever. They're either an owner or a VP or somebody who has a lot of responsibilities. And so they will only nitpick and micromanage you so much because they've got a full day, right? They've got a full fucking day. So they can't nitpick your ass for 8 hours. So when they ask you to do something and they want to nitpick and you have to just do what they want, that's fine, because they're going to pay you a lot because they're, you know, it's a big project and it's going to be short-lived because they're going to there's no iterations or whatever past they know what they want. And maybe there's like some little things. Hey, can we try this? Can we try that? But you have boundaries for that. So it's great. The problem is when you're acting as creative hands for a client that is a regular person that wants a luxury product, basically, which is a character sketch for their cool D&D character. They have all the time in the world, and they are willing to waste all of it because they're having fun. They're paying for the experience of buying an artist, basically. And so you're working for them as creative hands, and they want you to try everything and do everything the exact way they want and whatever. And that's more detrimental, right? That's way more detrimental because it's way more time consuming when it's an individual person rather than somebody who actually has responsibilities and things they have to get to. So that's like doing the creative hands thing is like definitely not like, that's another thing you had to learn how to not like tolerate or whatever and get away from. So a lot of it is just like learning how to like pick your clients and recognize sort of language and behaviors, and honestly a lot of it's just vibes. You know, when somebody is asking me for a commission or whatever through a DM, it's somebody random, like this is the first time they're messaging me on Instagram, whatever, like, hey, I want my character done, can you do it for me? And we chat about it a little bit. There's an interviewing process that if you as the artist are good at what you're doing, they don't realize is happening. But when they're giving you the sort of parameters of the project and you're asking questions about it and they're sort of like talking about it a little bit, I am 100% interviewing them, trying to figure out if they're cool or not. if they're chill, or if I get any whiff or scent of this person being annoying or to work with or whatever, I'm out, man. I'm running like fucking Gopnik from Responsibility and the Police, man. I am gone. I'm getting my fucking tracksuit on. I got my bottle of Voss and my hard boss, and I am in a different fucking field, okay? Like, it's very important, I think. So, I mean, you have to learn all these lessons the hard way. At least that's what I'm telling myself, because I think that having to learn too many lessons the hard way has been so exhausting that I need to believe that it was required. It was required reading. At least that sounds right, you know? It sounds reasonable. I don't know, man. Most people are chill. Most people are really cool. It's usually like... I think that it's one of those things where if you are kind of like doing... If you are the most authentic, or like, sorry, the more authentic you are, and if you're like your most authentic self when you're doing your creative work, I think you attract the kind of people that are better to like work with, because if you're not like appealing to a mass standard or whatever, you're getting people who want
Learning
the same kind of thing
the
you
hard
want.
way is always fun, especially in your
Right?
developmental years as a human being.
Yeah,
Leaves
exactly.
quite the impression Ivan Pep laugh.
Yeah, and the fucking scar to prove it. Holy shit, man. Yeah, thanks on a bit, Mel. I appreciate that. I don't know. I think it's really like it's one of those like graphic designer artist things that like people can like tell you that like, oh, it's so obvious. I can't believe you know, didn't figure that out or whatever. Oh man, I could have told you that. But there's a big difference between knowledge and understanding. There's like 2 different words for it in Sanskrit or whatever. I forgot they are. Jnana and something else. It's one thing to know something. It's a whole other thing to understand it. And I don't think you should try and interfere with the process too much for other people. You know, someone's gonna go make their mistakes, and then they'll realize and they'll know. And if that what you're scared of is you're scared that they make the mistake so badly that they can't come back from. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you really care about somebody, like another artist or whatever, and you know they're gonna go off and make some stupid mistakes, you have to let them make that mistake, because they'll come back stronger. And if they don't, then, you know, that sucks, but that's, you can't change that, I think. I think a lot of us have that with our parents, you know, like I'm not sure if anyone else has parents that like will sort of tell you what to do ad nauseum, as if you like, you know, like, oh, you don't want to do that, son. You want to make sure that you do this, and you make sure that you don't like mess this up, because then you'll have to whatever. And it's like you grow up or at a certain point and you realize, no, I need to go fuck that up myself. And you're going to watch me fuck it up. And you told me not to fuck it up. And I'm going to do it. And that's required reading for me. You know? Or maybe people who are parents have like had that experience of like realizing they need to go let their kid fucking fall off the playground or whatever, to realize that doing dangerous shit hurts. A lot of that happens, I think, in the freelance career. You have to learn a lot of lessons the hard way. And it's fine, you know? It's a struggle. You figure it out. You have a terrible client, and you figure out how to not have that terrible client anymore. And then you move on. It's kind of like the hard lesson I learned where I realized that, this is kind of it that must happen, probably. The hard lesson of realizing that I don't think I could fit into a game studio, into the career that I really wanted. I had like a really, really bad realization one day when I sort of had this like kind of, shit, I'm probably never going to work for like Blizzard or like ILM or whatever. Because I just like don't do structure the proper way well. I have a really hard time with it. I had like a profound understanding moment when I was at the game store. When I was working there, and I had a colleague who was a really cool older dude, basically telling me that I was trying to I was trying too hard, you know, to do cool things and to change shit. And I need to just chill, because that was not the place for it. And it wasn't my fault or the place's fault. It's just like the way it was. He told me you don't grow, or you don't work at the game store to grow. And I was like, damn. Damn, dude. I was all like whiny about how I wasn't allowed to do something, and we wanted to do something for marketing, and I like really wanted to have this idea, and I was like, I know it's like better and whatever, and I know this is the better choice, and I can tell you why and whatever, and we can just do this, it's very easy and whatever, and I don't understand. And I was like all like fussy about it. And like, you know, elder game nerd was like, why does this bother you so much that you aren't allowed to do this thing? And I was like, because I don't want to do the same shit, man. Like the graphic design related. Like, I want to grow, dude. I want to get better. And if we're doing the same shit all the time, then we're not doing better as a store, and I'm not growing as a graphic designer. And, you know, and if I'm growing, getting better, it benefits the store. And if the store is growing and whatever, then that benefits me. And it's this great relationship, whatever. And the thing is, it made sense. And he said, yeah, that makes sense. Except you're missing one important thing. I was like, what? He's like, you don't work at the game store to grow. You work at the game store because it's comfortable. No one works at a game store to get better and improve themselves. They work at the game store because it's a comfortable place to be. And I was like, shit. He's absolutely fucking right. And he did too. He didn't want to grow and get better. He was like this fucking multi-millionaire accountant dude. That it was like old and retired and divorced and shit. And he just wanted to like, you know, go work at a game store 3 days a week and just chill. He didn't fucking need to work a day in his life. He could fucking move to some tropical oasis or whatever with some beach house and just golf all day if he wanted to. But that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to be around the game store. He wanted to have nerd fights over which comic book character from the movie could beat the, like, whatever. That's what he wanted. And that was one of the most valuable pieces of advice he ever gave me, or anyone's ever given me. It saved me a lot of time and a lot of stress when I realized I need to get out of here. I need to fucking quit this shit. As much as I loved it, and I did love it, and I miss it, I realized that it was like stifling, you know? And that I'm not going to fit in at a place where I have to, like, you know, listen to somebody else's ideas. And that was like really hard for realizing that I probably wasn't gonna ever work at a game studio that I wanted to work at, or for a big company or whatever. Because you gotta play ball, man. You gotta play the corporate structure. You gotta do the thing. I don't know if I could do that. I think I'd probably get kicked on my ass pretty quickly and humbled. Done coughing. All right, good. Feel better. Feel better. Okay. Grandpa supervised my little brother as he worked on an abandoned pickup truck. He gave him advice, but let my brother ignore it and had to recover from the messing up. Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that, like, you know, I've had to think about this a lot, like how I want to like become a father and stuff. And I think that like I have heard from every single parent or grandparent that I've ever had that, like, oh, I'm like, hey, stop worrying about this. And they're like, oh, I'm your mom, your dad, your uncle, your grandma, your brother, whatever. It's my job to worry. And I've always resented that a little bit because I've always thought it's your job to worry, but not to burden me with your anxieties. So, like, let me go make out my own mistakes. And I think that I have to do that with my son when he's, you know, growing up. Is like, I'm going to be terrified that he's going to, like, fall on his ass and break his arm, you know, off the playground. But I have to let him go risk breaking his arm. And I can tell him, hey, don't run up there. You'll fall and break your arm, you know? But, like, you can tell him once, but, like, they're not going to understand. They have to fall and then hurt themselves real bad. And you're like, you just hope they don't, like, you hope they don't break something. They hurt themselves, like, enough that they learn to avoid the thing that could hurt them more, you know? And then you just swallow your anxieties and then fucking give them an encouraging smile when they look back at you, I think. That's the kind of dad I want to be. So, that's the kind of thing that I need in my life, right? I'm gonna go make all kinds of mistakes. I'm a hands-on guy, man. I need to make mistakes myself. I can't be told what not to do. I need to go fuck it up. And then, you know, I need to go screw up. And then hopefully not, like, do anything that's so damaging or whatever that I can't recover from. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting lessons I've learned in business and stuff and whatever and shit, working for people and big companies and graphic design stuff, but also just like doing my own thing and working for myself, having clients as opposed to an employer. Been very interesting and illuminating. So there's definitely not a blueprint. There's absolutely no blueprint for the kind of work that I do. There's like a couple of different like examples, but man, or even like Ella and Blackwood Dice, which I guess cool, you know, update for conventions this year. I got into the biggest convention in all of Canada outside of Toronto. I could have just said the second biggest convention in all of Canada, but I got into the Calgary Comic Expo. Ella got me my own table instead of me just sharing with her. So I'm going to have a presence at the Calgary Comic Expo that I wasn't going to have before. And we'll see how that works out, because Ella will be extraordinarily pregnant at that moment. God, I hope that, you know, I'm not rushing off to hospital during that event or whatever. Probably be fine. A little early. So we should both have tables for Calgary Comic Expo, which is cool, man. What I'm hearing is Evan's gonna be a hiccup when Toothless had to try flirting with the Day Fury. I honestly, I love that reference. I love that analogy. I don't remember it even the slightest. I don't, dude. I saw How to Train Your Dragon once, and I don't remember if I've seen any other of them. Thumbs up for distance and hope they don't mess up too badly. Exactly. You know, I think that I've I've recognized the power of encouragement. You know what I mean? Like, I think encouragement in a lot of ways is so much more powerful and profound than advice. Like, if somebody is asking you advice, then you give it to them. But I think that, like, if someone's like, hey, I'm doing this really difficult thing coming up here, I think it's way better to be like, all right, you got this, bro. Hey, do your best. Like, if you just walk into things like this with supreme confidence, I think that's better than like having like too much planning. But it's so tempting to give people like an abundance of advice, because you've learned the lessons, you screwed the thing up, you did the bad, you know, you made the mistake, and so you're like, oh, let me tell you how to not do this, let me tell you what I figured out to not have this be a problem anymore. And then you end up giving them advice that doesn't register because they never made the mistake to the mistake required to learn the advice. You know? What's up, SK? Yeah, what's up, dude? It's been a while. I've been gone for a minute and a half. I did say this year that streams would be pretty sketchy and sporadic until May. But I definitely didn't think they'd be this sketchy or sporadic, so I think I'm back, though, like, back to my schedule. I hope. Probably only be 4 days a week. I'll probably still be off 1 day of the week instead of doing all 5 until May, and then obviously I'll be gone for a couple weeks. I have no idea how many weeks I'm gonna be gone when Ella has the baby. I have no idea. I'm planning for 3. I'm planning for 3 in total. All right. But I don't know exactly. Maybe I'll be 5 weeks in and be like, oh, I can't go back to stream. Maybe it'll be a week after a baby's born, and I'll be like, yeah, I ain't doing anything, you know? So I know that'll be a large break, but until then, I'm hoping to be on a pretty reliable schedule. Totally agree. Our conversation at the Ren Fairs and your encouragement is what's been pushing me this last year to kick things up a notch. Well, I'm glad that I can have some small effect on that. Obviously, that's all your courage and your like motivation and drive, and it's awesome to watch you. And I'm so excited to, like, I really am, Greg. I mean, I am really sitting here waiting with excitement for like the releases and stuff that you talked about wanting to do, because it's gonna be awesome, bro. But I don't know. I think that encouragement is so much more powerful than advice. You know, Maybe that's just from like for my sort of like phenotype, is that I'm better off being encouraged than being advised. Maybe other people feel differently, but I feel like in general, I think that there's a lack of encouragement and an overabundance of advice in modern society, you know? Maybe that's wrong, but it definitely feels right for me. Very true. Yeah? You think so? Doesn't sound fucking crazy? Alright, fair enough. But it's so tempting to give advice, right? It's so tempting to say, like, to exercise your knowledge with it. As opposed to just letting somebody go off and fuck it up. You know, you gotta go learn the mechanics yourself. You can watch the video on how to do the fight, but you have to go get your wipes in. This is what I learned from Liquid Maxa, okay? You gotta get your team to get the reps in. They gotta learn the fight. You can't fucking tell them how to do it. They gotta go get it. Then they'll get it. So I always enjoyed about my 3D modeling teacher. He's always planned failure into his lessons so that we could see him fail and see him pivot and fix it. Yeah, that's really important. You know? That's like, yeah, I agree. That's important to watch instructors do that. And it's a problem with people who go to YouTube art school, because YouTube art school, like, for instance, I'm not helping this. What did I show up with stream today? I showed up to stream today with this sketch right here. What I didn't do is I didn't show you guys the well, so this one wasn't bad. Probably like 1 in every 3 characters I draw, the under sketch that I need to do the night before looks fucking impossible, right? You guys don't see me sort of like blocking out shapes and stuff and forms. You guys don't see this kind of shit because, for one, I think it's like kind of boring to watch me like struggle at something, because not everyone's here trying to learn. People are usually just here trying to chill. And 2, it's really like I am locked in. I'm focused. I'm not talking. I'm not doing shit. I'm listening to music, you know, looking at references. I'm not a very good artist, right? So when I'm trying to create the basic sort of like face shape for somebody or whatever, and I'm trying to like measure things and figure out like kind of how everything goes, like you guys aren't seeing this shit. It's messy, it's crude, it's gross, it's not, you know, it's a process that I'm not good enough to do sort of like automatically. Like, I'm struggling quite a bit right here to keep things measured and not completely just fuck it. Actually, it's going okay. You know, I'll be honest, this is not as bad as the other one was, but you know what I mean? So like, you guys don't see this part. So when I fail at something over and over again, trying to arrive at a character design, the little measurement tools that I do, the little things the way I learn it, and then the over sketch and the over and over and over and over and over and over that I'll do on something, you guys you guys don't see that shit because it's like not good stream content. It's not I don't want to put it as part of the videos either, because it's embarrassing to watch me struggle through something that I think is pretty like easy. Like, why are you fucking that up? Like, that's so, would you forget how to draw an eye? Like, I'll come back to an under sketch sometimes and it'll be like, why is so here's one thing. The ear on this character is too low. That's why I started drawing it, and then I realized it was too low. The angle of the face, it is going to be lower, but it needs to be bumped up like maybe a centimeter, like up this way, because this measurement right here is too long, given how the angle of his face is. And that's fine. I made a little mistake. It's okay. It's an easy fix. But I didn't see this, and I wouldn't see it unless I went away from this piece for like the night and came back to this morning, and I'd see the mistake. And so I'm part of the problem here. I don't show the struggle a lot of the time. And so if people just go to YouTube art school and they go to Twitch and watch artists and shit, they don't see their like that instructor of yours, you know? I have 2 Discord channels for art, one to share and receive praise, another where work can be criticized. With art, I think critique is amazing, but only when it's asked for. The problem is also, Zeromi, is I think critique from artists who aren't better than you is not valid. It's not useful. And that sounds like an incredibly dickish thing to say, but critique from artists that don't know what they're talking about is detrimental. That's why I don't allow criticism and critique in our Discord. I don't, because I don't trust the average artist. Because a lot of people want to give critique because it feels good to be knowledgeable and they want to help. And it's like comes from either an arrogant or a good place, one of the two. But either way, it can be damaging. And so like something the art director told me a long time ago was never accept critique from somebody that doesn't have a skill that you don't have. I was like, fuck, man, that's so brutal and so like mean, but I think it's so true. And it really sucks. Our critique is so valuable, but it can be really bad for artists if they don't understand it, you know, and understand the person giving it. And it's like, man, like, where do you get that from if you're like not part of a studio or like it? Man, it's tough. It's if you don't have a team of people around you that are trying to improve and whatnot in a similar way, like it is so brutal to be out there on your own. I really wish that I had like a group of artists that I could kind of like bounce ideas off and shit. And trying to find that is tough. I definitely miss that from being in the studio environment real bad. But it is like it's so beneficial when you like exactly like you said, when you get like really good critique or like the best thing you can have is like paint over or sketch over, things like that. You know, for artists, that's so valuable when you can get that kind of like feedback on a piece. That was like one of the best things that I ever had was an instructor. I was drawing like a castle. It was like, I don't know, it was like some kind of a shape on a cliff. And he was the best instructor I had in art school. What he did is he literally threw a piece of tracing paper, got his red pen, and drew the cliff line that I was having a hard time drawing. He taught me how to simplify rocks into shapes and facets and things like that, and how to have like progressive stacked layers and whatever. And him doing that like critique and demonstrating to me how to do it properly was one of the single most valuable things that I've ever had as an artist. And man, man, critique is good, hey? Very true. You should invest in glitch stars. For real, stock will only grow. I am invested in glitch stars. What do you mean? I've made fan art for at least 2 of them. What do you mean? I'm the unofficial glitch stars D&D fan artist, bro. Hello? What are you talking about? Fell, I when I return to my VTuber fan art series, I need to know who in glitch stars like what appreciates fan art the most. I like, who do I was gonna do something for Leah because I like her design, but I don't know, man. I've already done a couple people. I want to do some fan art for somebody who I haven't done fan art before, who would really appreciate it, who really loves that kind of shit. So I don't want to do it anime style anymore. I want to do it all in my kind of, you know, shitty ass RPG style. I agree, there's always an understanding in the space that everything should be taken with a grain of salt. Yeah, which is tough to communicate if you're running that space. So, you know, good job and good luck. Credit should be explored, then you should decide if you accept the correct, and redlining is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, straight drawing over your work, that's like a big contentious topic in art school, if you should like destroy a student's work or not by like drawing over it. And there's a lot of people that are very like kind of, my art is sacred and how dare you touch it. And although I do think that having a simple piece of tracing paper is probably good enough, you know, I've never been offended by an art instructor destroying a piece of art of mine in order to tell me how to do it better. But also my art school education wasn't very valuable. It was valuable in a lot of ways, but it did not make me a good artist. I did not graduate as a good artist. I can show you the portfolio that I graduated. I can show you how shitty I was when I graduated art school. You know, my art school did not prepare me for. Oh my god. Want to see how fucking bad I was when I graduated? I know Miwa and Maple love anything like that. I've done a piece for Miwa. I drew Miwa Bell as a paladin. So, you know, see how bad I was? This is what I graduated with. The Art of Evan Blaze. That was my first ever business card. On my first ever business card. With all outdated information. So, this was the kind of concept work that I was doing. Character progressions, narrative design, landscape work. Let me see if there's anything actually interesting in here. More landscape work. More, I thought I was gonna be an environmental artist when I was in school. I really loved it more than character, you know. More landscape, some concept design, sketch progression stuff, silhouettes and illustrations. Some of these pieces are a little dark. They printed it a bit dark. I was kind of mad about this. It's like a cyber tech city with like a cyber dragon and our protagonist sitting on a ledge brooding. Oh, I really want to make this design, this game still. I had made this like game called, or this, I made a mobile game because back in 2000 and when did I graduate? Like 10, 12, around there, 12-ish? No, around 2010 when I graduated. Mobile gaming wasn't trash and toxic. It was actually kind of exciting, and so I really wanted to make a mobile game called Ray and Bojo. And this is Ray and Bojo. A little robot girl and her robot dog. And I still kind of want to make it into a mobile game. You know, this is actually a piece of Smog, Hobbit stuff, some stylized projects we had for studying like older kind of style work. Some more of the painterly stuff. Yeah, like, so when I graduated, art school did not prepare me. Like, I was shit when I graduated. Unhireable. Absolutely trash. Could like completely unhireable. I had to work a lot after. That was not the portfolio that got me into like the small shitty gaming company jobs, the rock painting that I had done. So in Ray and Bojo, I need to work them into canon. I kind of want to, actually. Yeah. It was gonna be like so it was gonna be a kind of a side scroller, sort of like kind of like Geometry Dash kind of platformer, like a scrolling environment, you know, and you had you had Ray and Bojo sort of like kind of scrolling across the screen. You kind of platform and jump on things and whatnot, but it wasn't like it was supposed to be for mobile. So I didn't want there to be like the ability to the need to have to like jump. You're gonna have a move. You're gonna have two buttons, basically a jump and then an interaction or an attack or something like that. So you had to like consistently be timing stuff. It was more about timing and rhythm than it would be about like moving and platforming and stuff like that. Like a very simple kind of like scrolling platformer type thing. I still kind of want to make it, to be honest. Like it's still a thing 10 years 15 years later that I want to like do, right? But yeah, art school, man, like I needed to do so much work after that. I was not hireable, dog. It was not a good time. I was sad when I graduated and I realized how fucking bad I was. I was at the bottom of my class for the entirety of art school as well. I was the worst artist in my class for the entirety of you know, like I'm the artists that I like graduated with in my class were I graduated with Serena, who's a Magic the Gathering artist, right? Serena's awesome. She like won a whole bunch of awards, and she did like some art for. She's done a lot of art for Magic the Gathering. She's had this stylized style since we were in art school. Graduated with her, and like she just went straight into the industry. She you know, hit it running. Simon Roy. Graduated with. He was in my class. He was a really cool dude. I liked him a lot. He does comic books now, kind of like dystopian fucking cool future caveman paleo shit, like really cool stuff. But he went straight into the industry, started making comic books immediately. My like closest friend that I had in art school, Sean, he's a principal artist at Riot. I think he's like deep under NDA right now, so we can't like, I don't know what he's worked on for the past like several years because he's just been under NDA hell at Riot. I don't know if he's working on the MMO or not, but he's just done so much work for League of Legends. And like being a principal artist is like, principal is basically the highest you can get as an artist without being an art director. Principal artist is the highest. It's usually above senior development or senior visual or whatever. So I don't even know what he's doing. But like a lot of the people that I graduated with, they came out of art school like very proficient and were able to go right into the industry. I was shit. I was complete shit. And I was terrified that I would never find a space in the industry. And, you know, God knows I never did, but look, art school only gets you so far, man. It's tough. Get the day job. All right, Zerobi, be amazing. Go do cool things. Keep being the artist I aspire to be like when I grow up. The Great Bojo will end up being AWAR Thieves in my next session. Yeah. All right. I really wanted to game jam it. Like I still have this idea that I want to build that game with my friend Byron and Ella and my friend Chris, but I don't even know if he's making games anymore. I don't know. I had lots of aspirations to do like mobile games and shit like that. Back before it was like, you know, kind of toxic to now if you say you want to develop mobile games, that's like, ugh. But there was a time when mobile gaming was like such an exciting field, right? You could like build these games for like on your own and like make them and then distribute them on the Apple Store. And then like, you know, it was like so much freedom. It was so exciting. That was before it got kind of tainted by... There's lots of stuff in art that like people don't remember there was an early time in it when it was like exciting. Like it turned totally toxic, and that's why people like you say the term mobile gaming, everyone thinks like trash. Another one that surprises people to find out is actually NFTs. The very beginning, before anyone knew what the term NFT meant, NFTs were something being discussed like by a very small group of artists it was a very exciting kind of thing. It was like new tech and shit. And it was completely co-opted by like the NFT bros. So when you think of NFTs, you think of fucking like, you know, $100,000 apes, you know, shit like that. But a lot of like procedurally generated, you know.
Evan.
Yes.
I know it's only week 1.
Hello.
But I feel so useless. I can't even get through half the workouts my trainer has given me.
And I fine, bro.
I somehow feel even worse than I already did.
That's
Ivan
good.
will cry.
That's good. This is the process, Azalea. This is the process. Okay? It's about the process and not the results. It's about your identity that you're forming. You are now somebody that works out and trains hard and goes to the gym every day. That's who you are now. It's not about how you feel. It's not about whatever. It's about doing the thing. And I'm proud of you for doing the thing. So don't worry about it. It gets easy. It does get easier. It gets easier. It gets a combination of easier and more comfortable as you go on. But look, it's tough. Don't underestimate it. If you're struggling, that's kind of like what you're supposed to be doing. So good. Glad to hear you're fucking struggling and failing, and it feels shitty because it's supposed to. Listen, there are a lot of things that you've done in your life that are hard, that you've had to sort of like learn step by step, slowly. And it sucks when it's humbling, you know, it sucks and it's humbling when you have to kind of like go back to square one. But I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're struggling. Because if you weren't struggling, if you weren't failing, if you could do everything proficiently, you wouldn't be trying hard enough. You wouldn't be putting in a proper effort. And that's something that's like not really popular to say, because everyone wants to kind of like, you know, it's always supposed to just be nothing but encouragement and feel good and, oh, go at your own pace. No. Go at a pace that stretches you past where you are comfortable, and go fail and figure out where your limits are, and then continue to develop the skill until you stop failing, and then go find the next limit where you fail terribly at. And all the way, just hope you don't fucking injure yourself. That's just avoid injury. You'll be fine.
I am apparently still not eating enough before working out according to my trainer, but I already feel like I am overeating and sick to my tummy. Bruh. I mean, how do people eat more than one small medium meal in a day?
Yeah, I mean, if your body's used to it, it's like if your body's used to it either way, if you overeat or if you undereat, changing that is going to be a big, like, you're going to have a lot of sort of like biological reactions in your body that's screaming at you to go back to the status quo. So no, I mean, yeah, I don't know how to relate to that, to the increasing food, because I never had a problem under eating. Obviously my whole thing has been fitness, not to gain weight but to lose weight. And so when I first started trying to adjust to eating proper sized meals, like back when I was a full fucking, like, obviously I'm still fat and shit, but when I was full fucking like prized pig, like state fair hog mode, when I was like plus 300 pounds and just living a shit fucking life. Not that I'm like perfect right now, obviously. Haven't done shit in the last like 2 months. But I like, you gotta understand, my McDonald's order was like 4,000 calories in like 2022. Well, maybe earlier than that, right? I was having the same conversation the other way. I'm like, how do people just have a small cheeseburger and like a small fries and be full? What the fuck? How do people eat a fucking salad and a chicken breast? Dude, the amount of food I was consuming was just so unbelievable, right? That I can't even imagine trying to eat that much now. But if you're trying to go the other way, like, I don't know, just don't push it. You try and, you know, force yourself to eat a little bit more every time. That's fine. Also, it might not be worth it for you to eat before training. Like, I don't train. I train fasted, and it's better for me. There are different phenotypes of how people like burn and store and whatever calories and water and everything. There are a lot of guys that I know that I train with that have to have a heavy carb meal before training. So I'm at the gym at 6:30 usually every day. A lot of the guys that I train with are there earlier. One of the guys wakes up at 4:30 so he can get his first breakfast in at he eats something carb rich and with some like sugars and stuff. So he eats bananas and oats and peanut butter every morning at like 4:30, so he can be at the gym at 5:30 or so to be like carved up and ready to go. And then obviously they have high protein after, whatever. Your protein consumption in the day doesn't really matter when you have it. People will say, hey, you got to have your protein as soon as you can after your diet, but there's been a lot more like that is now officially, as far as Stanford is concerned, Stanford Medical debunked that and said, no, you can basically eat your protein whenever you want in a day, a while ago, which is interesting. But so like, it doesn't really matter when or what you eat, like kind of as far as like training goes. If you don't want to eat before you go train, like fucking don't, who cares? Like maybe you're losing a little bit of strength. Sure. I don't know. Who cares? Like if you don't feel like shit, like if I were to try and eat before I go to the gym, I feel like shit when I eat before I go to the gym. I barely even drink anything before. I don't drink anything before I go to the gym. I drink an electrolyte while I'm at the gym. And then if I'm going to have a caffeine supplement, I actually have it after. So, you know, there you figure out what works for you, Azalea. It's good. Like trainers will sort of give you a standard, and that's good. And you should listen to your trainer and try and take it very seriously what they say. But if you're like trying something and you're like, dude, how am I ever going to fucking eat like before I go to the gym or work out or whatever, and it just isn't working, then don't push it. Get your meals in later in the day. You'll be fine. Be fun, man. The Saffron said you're going from wizard diet to warrior diet. Yeah, for real. A big adjustment. Your body is like yelling at you to stop, to go back to what you know and to what it wants you to do. Maintain status quo. Waking at 4 a.m. is nuts. I actually am trying to push my wake up time earlier and earlier because I have found that I am happier where, like, I naturally want to be up late. 100%. I hate waking up in the dark, which maybe I shouldn't live in Canada then for 7-8 months of the year. I love I get productive at night, but not because of like not because I'm a night owl, just because my like system's fried. Most people who are productive at night aren't actually night owls by phenotype. They're night owls by adaptation, which is not good. But regardless, waking up earlier and being able to get stuff done early in the day makes me feel so much better.
I bring to you on this most auspicious day,
Daria. Wait, hold on. We gotta crack the case for the meta. Yesterday was the russet potato. Let's see if the meta is things that destroyed Ireland or if it was root vegetables. Wild carrot or Queen Anne's lace. Oh. Is the meta wild spawning root vegetables? Honestly, I'm going to assume that the meta this week is root vegetables, and I'm going to give this a solid 9.7. Fucking goated. Goated root vegetable. Best in slot, and also Yuna goes fucking nuts for carrots. I don't understand it. I shouldn't even be saying the word carrot so loud, lest Yuna hear me and decide to come demand snackies, so... Thanks for the bits of Daria. Appreciate it. How you doing, man? How you doing, bro? What's good? Wild Carrot got 9.7. Just wait until tomorrow. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We'll see. We might hit another perfect 10. They're very rare, but they can happen. They can spawn randomly. It's been known. It's not impossible. I presume that's on the menu. But yeah, don't worry about Azalea. You go at your own pace for eating. You will adjust. If you're training really hard, your body's going to start demanding more food at some point in time. It will start fussing at you when you don't eat a lot. You'll start craving certain things. Your body knows how to do. Like, once you reset your system from fucking, you know, modern day shitty food consumption, slowly your body starts being able to tell you what you actually want to eat. It's crazy when that first happens, because you don't think it's possible. And then it starts happening slowly, and you're like, oh shit. Oh damn, bro. I used to have a dog who would fight you for melon. The Americana melon, he would fight you for it. Really? Yuna does not enjoy any fruit or sweet things. She is only a... Oops. She is only a vegetable enjoyer. She wants not for your apples and berries and melons. She craves peas and carrots mostly, and cucumber. These are things for that dog that we cannot seem to even say the word without spawning her somewhere out of nowhere. Demanding. She'll like lead me over to the fridge now. Tell the dog went ballistic for romaine lettuce butts. Really? That must be good crunch. That must be the like requirement. Yuna understands good crunch. Specifically in carrot form, so, you know. Try with lettuce. She's not a big lettuce enjoyer. She doesn't hate vegan food as much as Dark Necromancer does. But I don't know. What else does she eat, dude? Yeah, I guess for vegetables, it's mostly, well, we don't eat a lot, like a ton, like a large variety of vegetables. Because obviously, like, I can't eat a lot of food. So, like, I can't eat broccoli, which is ridiculous. I can't eat broccoli or cauliflower or things like that. Ella doesn't like a lot of vegetables either. So our vegetable consumption is pretty boring, I think. It's like a very small sample size. So I suppose we haven't tried a lot of stuff, you know? Can't have the tiny trees. Ooh. The tiny green trees, man. Get out of here. Nope. They cause heartburn and acid reflux problems for me, if you can believe it. If you can believe a fucking piece of broccoli causes issues for me. It does. My stomach is messed up, though, don't forget. My stomach is fucked. Like, I can't have a drop of alcohol. I can't have anything spicy. I can't have garlic, onion. Dude, when my stomach basically imploded a couple years ago, and I couldn't eat, like, good food anymore, it's been tough to, like... I am getting better, though. I've been able to reintroduce a certain amount of foods that I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd, like, be able to have these foods again. You know, so I'm holding out hope for the future that one day I'll be able to have, like, you know, Korean and Middle Eastern food and shit. Mexican, Mediterranean, like all these things that I really miss. I'm holding out hope, man. Korean barbecue chicken, dude. I miss good spicy chicken. Oh my god, man. I honestly used to cook Korean food like most days of the week. We'd make like fucking japchae and like bibimbap and sundubu and all kinds of shit, man. We make all kinds of delicious Korean food. And then my stomach said, nope. Nope, you're done. You're done, Commander. Time to step down. And I've been slowly trying to recover since then. We'll see. I also don't want to like make super boring food for my kid. I really want him to grow up with like a wide, diverse palate. So I don't want him to be like a picky eater like his mama. Oh god. Sounds horrible as occasion. I'd stop eating. Yeah, I mean it is horrible. It's also tough though as well because like when you're losing weight, one of the ways that like is a very commonly accepted way of doing it is like if you have to eat boring like proteins. So like no more, you know, chicken with like, you know, chicken thighs and skin, just like, you know, skinless, boneless chicken breast, right? And a lot of people in like the bodybuilding community, the fitness community have recipes to make things better, like lean, shitty protein better is through spicing it properly, like properly seasoning it, you know, and like hot sauce and things like that. But I can't have shit. I can't put seasoning on my food. I can do salt and pepper. That's it. Right? I can't have, you know, I used to make when I was trying to lose weight years ago and I unsuccessfully, I had a very favored dish that was like a lemon herb, spicy chicken that I'd barbecue. It was super high in protein, super low in fat and, calories and carbs. It was great, but like, I can't make that anymore. So if I have, like, you know what, when I'm cutting, you know what I eat? For dinner most days when I'm cutting, I will eat a wrap, a high fiber keto wrap. It's not actually keto, they just call it that. A high fiber wrap with ground turkey. And I'll put salt and pepper on it. And maybe a bit of cheese. And that's it. It's fucking awful, man. It's fucking awful, dude. Oh, I miss food so bad. But I'm sure it won't be like this way forever. I've been saying that for years at this point in time, so who knows, man. I do wonder, like, what, yeah, like if you grew up in a society, like, 'cause if you have the problems that I have, it's like, what do you do if you live somewhere like Korea or, you know, places where it's so just like ubiquitous to have food that like is garlicky or spicy or whatever? What would you do, man? You know, at least here I can eat fucking boring, plain ass fucking European, whatever, shitty Canadian food. What do you do if you live somewhere that actually has a good food culture, man? I don't think I've ever asked, what did you do to your stomach to put it like this? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly. I think it's just being fat. Like, basically what happened is I would get heartburn real bad. And then the heartburn turned into, if I got heartburn bad enough, I'd have these terrible spasms in my esophagus that feel like a heart attack. And then it would damage my digestive tract so bad that I wouldn't be able to eat properly for days, sometimes weeks. If I had a bad enough attack, it would put me out for a long time. It's like it's like nothing would work. So now I basically have to avoid anything that causes any form of heartburn or whatever, like the fucking plague. Like even chocolate. Can't eat chocolate. Can't even drink a beer, you know, or whatever. Like I drank beer for the first time in years, like last month, because they made zero alcohol Guinness. And obviously with Ella being pregnant, we've like never thought about looking at alcohol-free wine and champagne, things like that. You just kind of, you pass in the grocery store and you're like, yeah, whatever, it's probably shit. But with Ella being like, man, I really want a beer, and like I really miss having a beer and some fucking potato chips while I'm watching the hockey game, we went and got some Asahi and some Sapporo Japanese beers that she really likes and I really like. And they were actually pretty good.
Has it been,
you know?
36 months?
Yo,
well,
wait.
Here's to 36 more.
3 whole ass years? Dude, that's a new sub badge, man. Wait, which one is that? Is that the bronze dragon? Oh, shit, man. Dude, I like that sub badge. Meeks, thank you for the fucking 3 years, dude. Thanks for sticking with me, bro. I hope you're doing well. God damn, man. That's a long ass sub. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. So I don't know, Azalea. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I think it was just like having a bad enough diet for long enough and being unhealthy, and like these problems have gotten better as I've lost weight too. Like I had a small bag of mini eggs at the mall like 2 weeks ago when I was out with Ella. And that was the first time I had tried to eat real chocolate. Real, but like chocolate in probably 2 years. I didn't have any problems. Right? It was like crazy. So like I do feel like things are improving, and one day, hopefully, I'll be able to eat real food again. It's gonna be so good. I have to be very careful, you know. There's a lot of Japanese food I can eat because they don't use a lot of like heavy seasonings, you know. But like Korean food is just out. Most like I can't eat at restaurants, you know, because every restaurant puts spices and garlic and shit on stuff. A lot of fast food's actually okay. Like if I'm traveling, I eat fast food, which sucks because like trying to be counterproductive to me trying to like be healthy and stuff. So I do not. I usually put on some weight. Like if I'm cutting really heavily, I will put on 3, 4, 5 pounds. A lot of that's like water and stuff. But when I go on a weekend trip to Edmonton for convention, because for breakfast it's like, what I can't, you know, where do you go for breakfast and shit like that? Everything's like a bagel or a croissant or something like that. And then the only food like McDonald's is safe. I can have a McDonald's burger. I can't have a Big Mac because it has onions and shit. But like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like French fries are fine at like places that are fast food because they don't season them. But if I go to like a pub or whatever, I can't have French fries there because they usually put something on them. So yeah, it is tough to figure out how to eat and the most bland food you possibly can. But I don't know. I'm managing and I'm getting better. So one day, dude, one day I'll be back to like cooking every night, stuff that I want, exploring shit. I'm gonna be fucking sick, dude. And I went for like, you know, tests and stuff. And doctors basically shrugged at me. My family doctor said, like, at one point, he kind of like gave me that kind of sad, sympathetic smile where he said, I think we're at the end of where our medicine can try and make this better for you. So I don't know what else to tell you, kid, besides keep trying to lose weight. I was like, okay. All right. Sure, man. That is a big motivator for me for my weight loss over the last couple of years has been to try and get back to a point where I can actually eat food. Like real food. Real good, healthy food. Fucking vinaigrette salads and spicy whatever, you know. They have none pizza left. With left beef. What sadness. Yeah, like pizza's one I miss. Tomatoes they were a bit much for me. I couldn't even have tomatoes of any kind. But tomatoes have gotten better. Not fresh. Has to be cooked. So I made pizza for the first time in I hadn't had pizza in like 3 years. And last year I went out and I bought some pizza dough and I just put tomato sauce on it, like base canned tomato, you know, with fucking salt and pepper. And then I just threw cheese on it and made a pizza that was like terrible. It's an awful fucking shitty pizza. It's the worst. Doesn't have anything on it. But I made it. And it was like so satisfying for me to just have this fucking nothing pizza with just unflavored, unseasoned tomato sauce. And cheese, because it felt like eating pizza, you know. I missed it so bad, dude. I was so happy, man. I had no idea how happy I was just to have this shitty, you know, this shitty nothing pizza, bro. Oh yeah, it was great, dude. If pizza dough wasn't so calorically dense, I would have it more often. I'd totally have more often, but I don't eat a lot of like real bread. I don't. It's just not worth it when I'm cutting. So, and I wasn't cutting for like the entire like fall and winter, but starting in January, I started properly, you know, watching my diet again and stuff like that. And so I'll probably make myself a shitty pizza at some point in time in the next couple months on a weekend. It'll be great. I could put like mushrooms on it maybe. Mushrooms are fine. I could put mushrooms on it and cheese. And I could put ground beef on it probably. Yo, that sounds good as shit. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold up. I might do this. Yeah, cooked pizza dough with some meat crumble. Oof. It's tough, bro. It's tough. We do what we gotta do, though, hey? Being healthy is, it's a struggle, man. It's a fucking struggle. I still have probably another 60 pounds to go. It's so demoralizing to lose your first 50 pounds and then to lose the next 50 pounds and realize you're still, like, unbelievably overweight. You know, like, I still look at myself, I'm like I'm growing a lot of muscle and stuff, and I'm, like, getting bigger in certain areas, but I still, like, have the belly. That ain't going anywhere right now. It's so disappointing to be working so hard and seeing so many results, but just not the one you want. Like, God, dude, I just want the, you know, like, I fit into, like, so many other more clothes now. You know, it's crazy to, like, have pants that I used to fit into that I, like, would then go back to, like, oh, I haven't tried these pants on in a while, and they're too big. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I just missed the window for these pants altogether. And then I'd have to, you know, take them to the fucking dono bin. And that's a great feeling, but it just does suck to wake up every day and look in the mirror and be like, ugh. Working so hard, still fat. The results are slow to come, but I'm hoping by the end of this year, I'll kind of be maybe where I want to be. We'll see. We'll see how much of a struggle. I don't want to promise doing anything difficult in the first year of fatherhood, you know? I feel like that's kind of maybe a mistake that some people make. They have all these like goals and shit. And I think probably just like survival and keeping baby and Ella happy is probably good enough. But I would really, really like to not lose my routine of like going to the gym and everything and eating healthy and shit. I have to go get me more water though. So give me 1 sec. Well, BRB. No revolts while I'm gone, alright? I'll know. I'll ask the mods. Wait, there's no mods here. Shit.
Visitors, how exciting!
Yo, Taku, what's up, bro? How you doing, homie? What's going on? Yo, guys, go follow Taku. You not followed Takotron yet. You're not followed Takotron yet. What the fuck are you doing with your life, man? Come on, bro. Come on, you want to see a real artist? Do real artist things? The chair is talented? What do you mean, dude? Fucking chair gets more bits than I do on Twitch. Chair gets credit for the art now. God damn. Thanks, Taku. I appreciate it. You're in ads? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh god. What are my ads? Worst timing, right? Fucking worst timing ever. Look, if you guys weren't following Takotron, Taku is, while Taku doesn't have to listen to me praising her, Taku is one of my favorite art streamers. So if you're not following Taku, then you're not following your favorite art streamers. Okay? Come on, bro. Taku's just this amazing work. Taku's like a really, really proficient designer. character designer, painter, illustrator, concept artist extraordinaire. It's a good time over at Taco's chat too. Taco's a really good streamer too, which is like a quality that is a little bit rarer amongst artists, is being phenomenal at streaming. And Taco does all that, so please go follow Taco. The Tacotron. I was chilling with Taco a bunch, like, over the last couple of weeks when I was like on my hiatus, whatever, from streaming for a little while. I would just be secretly in Taco's stream, just chilling while doing my work. So Taco's keeping me company through that. You know, look, I'm doing well, Moshi. How you doing, bro? What's up? How was the stream? What were y'all doing today? Tell me stories. Tell me adventures. What were y'all getting up to? I was downstairs grabbing new water and saying hello to the wife. I'm like breaks now take longer when I'm on stream because I'm like down there trying to just anxiously making sure she's okay and doesn't need anything. You know, the like pregnant wife memes, the neurons activated. I gotta go like, you know, tend to her when I'm on a break. So running while you were just chair of it? No, you're good, dude. I'm sorry for being AFK. I had to dash for a minute there. But yeah, I've missed you, Taco. I haven't been around much. I don't think I've caught. Well, I haven't been able to stream that much right now. But I've only caught a couple of your streams recently as I was taking a bit of a break from streaming because of life bullshit. I'll be like really sporadic for my streams until May, until baby gets here. But yeah, dude, I've been enjoying my Taco streams. So the few that I caught over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, guys, go follow Taco. Go do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it like you regret your long-term sub in Evan Blair Arts chat. Every time I see a long sub get redeemed or renewed, I'm like, ah, geez, I feel bad. Taku's subscriber satisfaction is off the fucking charts, man. It's crazy. So, welcome back. Your chair did such a good job. Good, Andy. Listen, I have a very proficient chair. Apparently the chair is now the credit earner of all of my art, as I've learned apparently today. So hey, good to know. How you doing, Andy? What's up? Good to see you. We're drawing a handsome drow today, in case anybody was wondering. A handsome dramatic drow with liquid mercury scarring, which I still don't really know how to do that. I'm guessing we're just gonna do little globules, but I should probably get to that too. We've got things to do, okay? Lesser drow, dude. Nobody ever asked me to draw a drow. Although he is a drow that has cut his ears down, though, so I don't know. You know, it's like, what's the point in drawing a drow if you can't draw their pointy ass ears? What's the point, dog? We are in Discord if you want us to compete. Yes, excellent. Okay, you know me well, Taco. Let us adventure. Let us dive. Allow me to snoop. And scrolling. The den. All right, let's see. What we're working on. Oh,
it's Mithra gifted a tier 1 sub to Takutron. They have given 77 gift subs in the channel.
This is the project today? Yo, dude. That's so fucking sick, man. Yo, what the fuck, dude? I love this. This is so good. I fucking love your work, Taku. You're so goddamn good at what you do. Oh, this is so sick. I don't know about this. I don't know about this one. Listen, this is far too adorable for my taste. This is not masculine enough. I can't with this. This is not, these don't belong together. Come on, bro. I need more masculinity in my art. Definitely not drawing any Nendoroid inspired chibis off stream. But no, this is sick, bro. This is actually sick. When I grow up, I want to be a real artist too. When I grow up, I want to be a real artist. One day. One day, man. One day I'll live up to the standard. I'll be able to put my work next to Takutrons and look like I'm not heinous embarrassment, so it'll be one day deep into the future, but nah, it's sick, Taku. I'm always a fan of your stuff. I always like snooping on what you're doing. Okay, Broody Drow Man Boy. I forgot his bun. Shit. The undercut bun was very much a important piece here on the character description, I think. Oh, I forgot the white. Oh, okay. You know what? I can't forget that. I can't forget the white stripe. Can't forget the white stripe. I hope the recording isn't just frustrating to watch for this video, like whenever I edit it, of just like the man bun not being there for a minute. I'm not worried so much about process for recording right now. Like I'm not starting with the eyes or any of that kind of shit I usually do for TikToks, because I don't know, man. I just haven't been. I'm out of practice. All right, I just need to get to the point where I can draw this shit first, and then we'll worry about it looking good. Let's do kind of a world thing. Actually, let me get a reference to this. What kind of man butt I want to draw. I have to maybe keep drawing 6 drive. Wonderful rest of the stream, dude. Taco, I appreciate it. Thanks for popping by in the raid, dog. Let's do a bit smaller. We'll reference a bit more of a normie man bun thing. More of an Instagram man bun than anything else, because, you know, I feel like somebody asking for a more modern hairstyle won't care if it looks modern, right? They would have asked for it if they didn't want a modern hairstyle, you know? Let's do... Yeah, that works. Get the right silhouette, okay? You seen the anime or read the manga for Claymore? Oh man, Claymore, like in ancient elder days, maybe. Like, when did the anime, the Claymore anime? When did the anime come out? 2007? No way. It was earlier than that. Claymore original. Oh, maybe it was 2007. I thought that Claymore was a late 90s thing. I didn't realize it was early 2000s. Or even like if you told me it was early 2000s, I would have been like, oh yeah, 2002 or 3 or whatever. 2007 does not feel... That feels too recent, which is weird. But yeah, dude, I haven't read the manga, which is maybe not a good thing. But no, I watched the anime like eons ago. I really liked some of the armor design in that show. It was cool. I don't know why, but it kind of gave me Escaflowne vibes, which is not really like... I believe me, I don't even understand why it does either. But that's good shit. Listen, I need some good fantasy anime, and I feel like we haven't gotten really good fantasy anime in a long time. And I'm not including Frieren or Delicious in Dungeon in the good fantasy anime camp, because to me those aren't really fantasy anime. Like, maybe you can make a argument for Frieren, but I feel like they don't have that sort of old school kind of like feel. It's like the main character isn't the world. It's like an anime that takes place in a fantasy setting. Maybe Freeren's probably... I'm being unfair to Frieren, but definitely I think the majority of fantasy anime aren't like I want like a fucking fantasy anime, man. You know? It's been a while and a half since I had a good one. I haven't really been watching anime either the last couple of years. I did, however, purge my more berserk type. Yeah, maybe that's a bit dark, but yeah, in that direction. I did purge my manga collection though. So Ella and I had to redo a bunch of our like storage for stuff because we had to make room for the crib in the bedroom. So I have 2 bookcases here now beside my desk with all my art books, all my novels, all my D&D books, game strategy guides that I still have, and manga. And I did not keep much manga at all up here. I put most of it in bins in my storage. That was hard. That was tough, man. But I don't think I have any. The only fantasy manga that I have up here is actually, I think, the Final Fantasy 14 like 4-part miniseries or whatever, which is like, I don't know. I just like the world, so. Yeah, I really miss like maybe, what was the last one? The last, I think, fantasy anime, and tell me if there's something more recent that I think had that kind of old school fantasy vibe to it, was maybe Goblin Slayer. There had to have been something since then, but maybe not. Maybe you could make a case for for Vinland Saga, but Vinland Saga doesn't. It's not. I don't know, man. It feels more historic, like it's too. Like obviously, a lot of fantasy has Nordic cultures or themes in it, but it doesn't like feel. I don't know. I don't, for some reason I don't want to classify Vinland Saga as like a fantasy anime, you know. But like things like ReZero and whatever, or any kind of isekai, I would say historical fiction is like is that's the way to classify it. I wasn't getting there, so I'm glad you got there for me. Like a lot of the fantasy anime, the isekai trash movement, you know, of the last 15 years. How long has it been since Sword Art Online came on? 15 years, 16 years. A lot of it just like, it's in a fantasy setting, but it's not a fantasy anime. You know, like... When I think of obviously like Lotus War or Goblin Slayer or I don't know. There was one that felt really fantasy. It was kind of weird. I'm not sure if you guys ever saw this, but did you guys ever see this anime called Grimgar? It's technically an isekai, but it felt so much more like a fantasy anime than other isekais. It was really kind of heavy, right? Like it was I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering it, but I remember it was a short little series, like 13 episode thing like that, but it felt like a fucking fantasy anime. I like maybe I should go read it, because is it a light novel or is it a manga? If it's a manga, not a light novel, I will absolutely go read it. But Grimgar, Goblin Slayer, like there's just been not many that had that kind of really traditional kind of fantasy vibe to it. You have to go really old for that kind of stuff. Now, to be fair, if you're willing to go back to the 90s and 80s, there's a lot of really good stuff out there that you can like read. There's still a lot of stuff I haven't seen, but I don't know why I liked Grimgar so much. It might be one of those animes that I just kind of like needed. Like, do you ever have an anime that you know isn't as good as you remember it, or like as you experienced it, but you needed it at that moment? And I mean, like maybe you were sick and you were like bored and you had this craving for an anime about like dogs, and then you watch Beastars or some shit. I don't know, like an anime that you remember as being like in your list as a 10 out of 10. But you might recognize like that anime is probably not that good. That anime is like probably like an 8. You know, for me, one of the animes that comes to mind is I have a figure. This anime on my anime list is ranked as a 10. It's called No Game No Life. It is trash, by the way. I think it is artistically one of the most interesting animes that like, it reminds me of the artistically, I like this anime for the same reason that I like an old anime called Genkutsuo, The Count of Monte Cristo. But it is inherently just like Gunner bait trash. Like, it's not a good anime, right? But it's a 10 out of 10 for me because I don't remember why, but I was feeling like really like artistically uninspired or something, or having trouble with color palettes or whatever, and I needed an adventure and I was stressed and I watched it all in one you know, all in one weekend or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like this anime hit at the exact moment in the exact way. And so I rated a lot higher in my own book than I know it deserves. And I worry or wonder if Grimgar is like that. If I remember like that, was that anime trash, but I like needed it at the moment, you know? Which is valid. Like, you know, I don't want to go back and watch it and realize like, oh yeah, this is actual fucking trash. You know, I'm very happy to remember this anime fondly, without going back and needing to remind myself that it was actually garbage. Like, that's okay, you know, if you, because part of the subject, like, without getting too flowery about talking about art, a lot of the time the subjectivity of art, past the objectivity of it, the subjectivity of art can also be the context of the viewer. And if your context lines up with the communication of an artist really well and something hits you, that's beautiful. Don't let anybody like shame you. If you have a trash anime that you love because it's a 10 out of 10, but it hit at the right moment for the right reason for you, don't let anybody fucking whine about, you know, oh, it's not a good, oh, whatever. Like, no, man, I am so for, like, I love hearing about that too. When somebody has, they're like, one of my favorite anime ever is like, I don't know, In Another World as a slime smartphone vending machine or whatever. And you're like, the fuck? You know? And they're like, look, man, I just had a breakup and I had this whole thing and whatever, and I needed a snack, and like whatever reason somebody arrived to a opinion about an anime or whatever it is. I'm always like really interested in that. I'm not going to argue the point and be like, oh, how dare you rate that as a 10? You know, I'm like, that's crazy. That's really cool that it's a 10 for you, you know? So I think I remember Grimgar being like that, but I don't remember exactly. And I don't want to go back and watch it because I'm afraid that it'd be actually really bad. Heard of Count of Monte Cristo? So yeah, Genko Tsuo, really interesting anime. I don't remember if it was trash. I think it was actually pretty good. I think people remember it pretty fondly, but very interesting artistically. Also has an absolute smashing opener or closing theme. I forget which one it is, but it has some smasher music to it. But it was like really cool, man, and like a really interesting story, and like it's like a sci-fi anime with this kind of like, I don't know, man. It's just so interesting and beautiful, and I don't want to go back and watch it because I'm afraid that it's shit. I don't want to go back. I'm scared. What if it's trash? What if it's actually garbage? But I think it's actually probably one of the pretty good. Talk reminds me that I need to reread One Piece of the One Piece of Shoujo manga. Skip beat. The slowest of burns. Have they even kissed yet? Look, after my stint with the Ouran High School Host Club, I don't know if I can do shoujo anymore. Ouran High School Host Club closed the book on shoujo for me. I loved shoujo when I was a teenager, and my D&D group and I, when we were in high school and college and stuff, we would watch Ouran High School Host Club over and over and over again, and it was so fucking good that now I cannot take any shoujo seriously. And I love and hate that. So, you know, another good one, isekai style, as I'd not say the greatest, but still great when I need it at the moment, would maybe be Log Horizon. No, so unironically, I think Log Horizon was good. I remember that it kind of like had a weird like second or third season or something. I don't remember what it was, but Log Horizon kind of like had a weird thing to it. But the core of Log Horizon, I don't think it was isekai trash at all. I think Log Horizon was a less mystical hack sign, in my opinion. It had the MMO elements, it had the awareness. I think Log Horizon is actually a base take, like, good anime. I don't even think that it's like I don't think it's to me, I need to explain that I like No Game No Life with some shame, because it's like, you like No Game No Life, like, what's wrong with you? You know? I don't think that I think you can just say straight up, I liked Log Horizon, it was great. Also, fucking Database from, what's the fucking, God, what's their name? Man with a Mission. Great fucking band. The opening for Log Horizon, the first opening I think it was, for Man with a Mission, was actually sick. They're also the guys that did, the Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans IBO openings. So Yeah. Gargantia on the Verdurous planet. So that's interesting that you say that. Gargantia also hit at the right time. I watched this anime at the exact right time that I needed to, and I watched it with Ella, and the two of us like had a great like weekend or whatever watching it. I watched Gargantia, and the world building and art in this anime and story was interesting enough that I remembered it very fondly. And I went back and rewatched Gargantia years after that, and it held up. So in my opinion, I think Gargantia is a solid anime, like without any explanation of like, oh yeah, it's like a trash anime that hit me at the right point in time. I thought that. I was like, this anime is probably garbage, but I like needed it at the moment. But I went back and watched it like a couple years later, and I was like, no, actually, wait, this is sick. Wait, what? What was I worried about? This anime is fucking dope. What are you talking about? This is disgustingly cool world and shit, you know? And it's like, it's got your like rom-com trash stuff in it and stuff. But the thing about Gargantia that I loved a lot is that it was an interesting world concept. It was an interesting world concept in the same way as like an anime like Last Exile. In that it's a really well thought out, I think, kind of simulacrum of a modern or like a post-apocalypse, like the things that Last Exile and Gargantia get right, Nier also gets right. I don't know, like this kind of quiet, lonely, apocalyptic kind of like future, but it's like kind of optimistic too, and like simple, and the character designs were fucking sick. It had like multiple sort of like cultural kind of like inspirations through them, you know, like they're really cool, man. I think this is a great anime for a lot of reasons. I want to go back and watch it again. I don't know. It's been really hard for me to watch anime recently. I don't know why. I don't know why, man. I'm having a hard time sitting through and finding any anime I want to watch that's new. I can go watch old stuff for some reason. And I wonder if it's just like, you know, old man has nostalgia, because I will say, unfortunately, bro, you want to know what I'm doing in my cooldown time? You want to know what kind of degenerate shit? You want to know how fucking old man I am? And I'm proud of this, by the way. You know what my old man hobby is right now? Login queue? What the fuck? Blizzard? Hello? What the garbage? All right, well anyway, I've been playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. That's the game that I've been playing recently. So I feel like I'm not like participating in like anything new. I'm playing a 25-year-old game here or whatever, however old D2 is. So I don't feel like I'm maybe in the right mental state to be talking about like actually. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, here. Are you ready? You want to see what I do in my spare time? I'll show you. You want to see? All right, this is what I do in my spare time. So I stop work. This is what I do. Ready? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, this is what I do. I wait in queue. For a game that's 25 years old. Oh. All right, boys. Okay. You want to see peak gameplay? Okay, let's go. All right. You guys want a history lesson? Everyone here is younger than the age of 47. You ready? Look at this gameplay. Yo, bro, we gonna get a Shaco today? Gotta pop the super chest. And gotta kill the council. Yeah. This is what I do in my spare time now. You wanna know if I'm not... Look at this. Look at this gameplay, dude. Yo, look at it. Oh, shit. Small charm? Wait, hold on. This be big? Bro, small charm? Ah. Damn. Damn. Oh, well. Oh, well. We'll get him next time. So, I don't know if I have a great opinion on games or anime or anything like that right now, because I've been stuck in, like, the late 90s. I've been stuck in the fucking late 90s, man. Watching Cowboy Bebop and playing Diablo 2, like I'm doing anything new or whatever. Holy. Okay, resume recording. We're good now. Gaming time? Dude, the last time I did a gaming stream, Mel, I lost double-digit viewers. I made people mad. When I did a late-night gaming stream on my main channel, I had people come in and say shit like, bro, this is not why I followed you. I thought you were a real streamer, not one of those gameplay guys who just plays a game and then expects people to give them money. I lost followers. You look at like my stream categories on Twitch Tracker or whatever in those sites, it'll say like how many followers I've gained with like certain, you know, D&D or art, and it'll show followers gained with like Minecraft when I play Minecraft Ella.
Didn't show you on the side till 2 hours into stream.
What? I'm getting censored from the sidebar? What the fuck? Next, they can't handle hot drow man. Damn, bro. Well, thanks for the sub, Nix. Thanks for the 46 months. How you doing? What amazing projects have you been working on, Nix? What life-changing art have you been completing? It's good to see you, bro. I don't know. Twitch has been weird. Not alerting streams. I don't get alerts for streams that I follow anymore. I don't got shit, bro. Twitch has been doing their own thing, apparently. All I can do is just hit the go live button and draw hot drow men and then make YouTube shorts for it. It's about controlling what you can control there, kid. You can't control whether or not Twitch decides to let people know you're live, but you can control the amount of hot drow men you draw. And so... Anime fan art for your favorite? What anime? What what anime? Oh god, what do you mean for my favorite, Nix? I don't know about this, dude. I'm getting a little nervous. Is it anime fan art for Gargantia on the Verdurous Planet? Is it? Is it? Oh god. Yeah, that's sick. Sarcasm. Yeah. Dude, I want to do some fan art for dumb shit. Like, I want to do fan art for, like, Diablo 2. You know? Or obscure anime nobody cares about. I should do some Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash fan art. I should do some, what else? I don't know what other animes there are. Maybe animes that are like super stylized, so it's not as weird to sort of like do it in my own thing. Yo, I should do some Gundam fan art, but not of Gundams, of like characters that don't really matter from the show, like La Flaga. Yo. That sounds like a weekend, bro. All right, liquid mercury scars. I don't really know what that means, but I'm going to try my best with them. I hope this client, illustrious of sorts, isn't too upset if I don't get the exact scoring correctly. First favorite animes where I'd even go back and watch them again is Castlevania, To Be Hero X, Watakoi, really, and Horimiya, really. I read a good portion of Horimiya at a friend's recommendation, and I never watched the anime when it came out a couple years ago. Got some large-scale crafting going on. What? What kind of crafting? Someone put a crafting table down? Are you making diamond armor for your adventures? You upgrading? Don't tell me you're doing some netherite. You know, I never did watch Castlevania. It seems like my kind of jam, but I never caught it. I never watched it. Seems like the exact kind of thing that I would like, though, you know? All right, take care, Andy. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Appreciate you. Maybe I should try and start reading manga again. I feel like anime has a budget problem. Anime, like a lot of other industries, have an issue of the budget being too large and companies not wanting to take risks, I think. That's why we get so few original stories for anime. It's always a manga adaptation. Which is fine, I guess, for a lot of stuff, but I just want to be wowed, you know? I want to be impressed with something new. Something I haven't seen before. Something that doesn't feel like it's just pandering to an existing market. I want to see something that I don't know I want. I want some director, some writer, some art team to grab me by the fucking jaw, bring me in real close and whisper the name of my new favorite anime, and then have me sit through a life-changing experience. I want to be impressed, you know?
Ivan Blsip.
What's up, Rob? What's going on, man? It's a tier 2 for 70 months, bro. How you doing, big guy? What's going on? How you been? What's chilling? What's cracking? Good to see you, Rob. Thanks for the support, man. It's a long ass time, though. Holy shit. What anime should I go watch, Rob? I've been debating this. I want a good fantasy or sci-fi anime. I want something fun. I want to go on an adventure. I want to see dragons and hobbitses and shit. Maybe I'm looking the wrong genre if I'm looking for that. You know, I actually had this strange thought to even think about trying to see if there's any if the comic book industry was worth jumping into as well. I don't know a single person that reads comic books, like a single friend of mine anymore. That I know of, at least. But I was like, I don't know, I was listening to some guys talk about it on a podcast about how there's like some really good arcs and stuff. I was thinking about it. I was contemplating things. Fantasy anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I have seen Full Metal Alchemist before, and I'm also pretty meh on it. I'm like the only person that doesn't have like a really high opinion on Full Metal Alchemist. It's kind of weird, hey? No, I want a fantasy anime that's more like Lotus War, Grimgar, Goblin Slayer. I want some fantasy ass anime that feels D&D, right? Sewing dice bags with custom symbols embroidered for an all-female group of first-time players. That's cool. Brand new players, bro. Get them into the hobby, dog. That's cute. I like that. Meantime, making recycled paper for a birthday gift. Oh, damn, bro. Now you weren't lying, Saffron. You got some crafting happening. Well, that's cool. I hope you have fun in your are you DMing this first time group or what's the story there? That's cool. I always love teaching people how to play D&D for the first time, especially if they're not like, you know, existing TTRPG nerds. You have to be open-minded though, you know. They have to be really like willing to jump into it. Try some shit out. See what they think. Ooh, we gotta do our dark red eye. How do I keep not doing it? How have I avoided it for this long? I'm working on the neck scars and shit. For a lot of webcomics, actual comics are way too expensive. Yeah, man. Like, is there even good? Like what are? I'm like not the biggest superhero guy, right? But I kind of want, like, if there was a reset on something, like I might jump into it if there was a reset. Like, I like Supergirl stories because I think that she's a more of a she, like, I like Supergirl when they write her as a darker Superman. Like Kara does not have the kind of the control that her cousin does. So if this is just like a fucking boppy, fun, like Superboy style Supergirl, then I don't give a shit. But Supergirl is a really good one. Green Lantern, I really like Green Lantern stories, but I am a John Stewart enjoyer over a Hal Jordan. I don't know who this is. That's cool. A new Green Lantern. There's only 12 issues in. I could see what's up with that. X-Men, I'm not a big X-Men fan. Oh, you guys can't see it. Oops. There we go. Spawn, I'm pretty meh about. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, never been a fan of. Apparently Transformers is like one of the best like current comic book series out there. And I just not a Transformers fan either. I don't know. What else we got? Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Oh god. 85? Issue 85? They're still making Sonic the Hedgehog comics? Jesus Christ, man. No wonder that fandom's so weird. They keep getting fed. What else? 1776 Captain America, the Hulk. America. Space Ghost. Witchblade. Wasn't that an anime? Planet of the fucking Apes. Holy shit. Yeah, alright. Sure thing, dog. He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. Red Sonja. I'm good. The Dungeons and Dragons comic book. I have a D&D graphic novel set up there, and it is awful. I'm sorry, man. It is not good. Judge Dredd. Okay. I don't know, man. There's not a lot of stuff that I'm really excited about. Maybe now's not the time to jump back into comic books, hey? Yeah. Alright. Well, I tried. I gave it a shot. I thought about it. Star Wars? If it's not old Star Wars Dark Horse, I don't want it. If it's not pre-Disney Dark Horse. Overwatch? Oh shit, dude. They're making Overwatch comics again. Desperate. Maybe they're cool. I don't know. Yeah, this is all fucking, like, whatever. Trash. I don't know. Nothing in there that piques my interest, I guess, unfortunately. I feel like a witch making my paper shred soup. Good. Good. Meanwhile, I work on a character reference sheet for comic, create some modern fantasy webcomic. That's cool. I could definitely do with some fantasy comics. Yeah. The anime I could recommend, it's a manga sales have recently caught up, possibly surpassing Superman's 90 years of sales, 600 million. Really? Which one? Sonic the Hedgehog has multiple runs by different companies? No shit, really? I didn't think there was not much like Sonic the Hedgehog story to tell. I'm so intrigued by the Sonic community. Like, it's such an interesting, like, kind of weird, I don't know, convergence in the Force. They're so strange but passionate. I respect that, you know? TF2 comics were over on January 2024, really? Spawn from the 90s was great. Don't remember any stories, but I remember it was just very different and broke away from the boring convention of typical comics. Yeah, I for some reason I never liked the art style of Spawn. I don't know why. Whenever I saw like old Spawn comic books, it was always like, never appealed to me. And again, I don't remember why either, so. One Piece, that's the one you recommend, really? I don't know if I can jump back into One Piece. I don't think I have the time. Unless there was like a new arc or whatever that was really good. But One Piece is a bit, I don't know. There's a lot, you know. I really respect the people that try and read like the entirety of One Piece. That's a lot, man. Todd McFarlane, yeah. I remember I got a game that McFarlane did some like character designs for, something called Kings of Amalur. I wonder what happened to his video game ambitions. I do appreciate that it was different. That there was like a definite, clear attempt to do something new with Spawn. Spawn Image Comics? I think it's Image, right? I don't remember. I took a class from a guy at my art school that worked for Image Comics. I wonder if he has any new issues or whatever. Comic artist Riley Rossimo. I wonder what he does. This is one of the best like instructors I had. I wonder if he still does any comic book work. Does not really have much of a website though. Oh well, rip. CEO Dark Horse was recently left, I think. Really? Marvel Method was getting too predictable. Writer, penciler, inker, they all look the same paneL across the page. Yeah, yeah, for sure. All these are sequels of comics that have been around forever. Yeah, I want like a new comic, a new story. I want like a new thing, right? I don't know why they don't like attempt more like new editions more often, but it feels a little like, I don't want to say boring. It feels like it's too judgmental, too mean. Like, I don't necessarily need another Batman story. You know what I mean? That might be a bad take. Though I'm not like really a comic book fan. I wouldn't consider myself a big comic enjoyer, so I'm probably not the target audience. So when I say like, oh, I don't need another Batman, it's kind of like, okay, well, they're not making it for you, Evan, so your fucking opinion doesn't matter. And like, fair enough. But I would love like something new and exciting. Like there was a move called the New 52 when I was working at the game store, and I bought this really cool thing there, which was, I think this was issue 1. Yeah. This was like a big like reset or whatever DC was doing. I got this from the game store when I was working at the game store, and like has like all the first issues of the New 52. I don't know how long they like did this for, or something like that. I don't remember what this book was. But it was exciting because there was like, it was like a reset for a lot of things, you know? It was like a brand new, I don't know, entry point into the whole thing, which was cool. Whatever, man. I do enjoy the ritual of buying comics, you know, going to the comic book store and getting your new issues every week or whatever came out. The ritual of being a comic enjoyer does seem like it's a lot of fun because it's something to look forward to, you know. There's series you can track and read and follow, and there's something you can kind of like plan for or whatever. It feels very what's the word? I don't know. It feels like something that you can like really kind of count on. It's like reliable. Maybe. That kind of like steady, scheduled, reliable sort of like thing to look forward to, I think is very valuable. It's like having a good D&D group that you look forward to playing with every single week. You know? When you attempt something new, you get Rebel Moon. Which one was that again? That sounds familiar. Shit. That sounds familiar. Apparently there's a Indie Comic Zone website that compiles them. Oh, really? Well, I think a lot of people are just kind of fatigued from the comic book movies type thing, and it'd be nice for comic books themselves to kind of come back as a art form. Because like the comic book movies are cool, but I don't know. I kind of miss the graphic novel, the picture and paper. Maybe I should do it. Fuck it. Maybe I should be the guy to save comic books. I create the Evan Blair Art comic book project, Realms of Eldara, issue 1. And instead of my novella of Veyron and Kolos, I have a graphic novel. All I need to do is find between 30 and 60 hours a week to work on it. Where would I get between 30 and 60 hours a week to work on a comic book? Oh my god, I could make it myself. Do you know how fucking cool it would be if I had a comic and I made it and printed it myself and then I mailed it out to people every month on like Patreon or something? Yeah, fucking cool that would be. Holy shit. Stream it? Dude. That would be sick. That would be seriously legit. I got too many projects, alright? Ask me again in the summer. I got too many things going on. Can't add another project. Can't add another one to the list. I'm behind on too much. I already have a miniature panic attack when somebody comes to stream and reminds me that I have something that I have to do. I'm so creatively greedy. I just want to do everything. I just want to do all the cool things. Phil, let's do a 50% for his hair. I'm too greedy, man. I want to make all the projects and do all the cool things. Time be damned. Scheduling be damned. I will make time for it. I will do at some point in time, the next couple of years, I will do an Eldara graphic novel. It'll be a small, like, mini release thing. It won't be like a big thing. It'll be a small, single issue type thing. I did a comic book project for when I was in art school, and I thought it was one of the most fun things. Like I seriously thought about not doing concept art and working in comic books, but I didn't want to do superhero shit, you know. And I talked to that instructor that, you know, is a comic book artist, and I asked him, I was like, man, like, what's the future like in the comic book industry? And he was like, I don't think you would do well at it, Evan. I was like, why not? He's like, because you want to tell like a fantasy story, and like that's not what comic books want right now. It's not what companies are looking for. It's like, you're gonna have to do it on your own if you want to. It'll be very hard. He didn't discourage me. He didn't say don't do it. He just said it's gonna be really fucking hard to do. And I think I got tired and decided to go to the vending machine instead of changing my career entirely. So yeah, I'm pretty sure instead of changing my career trajectory entirely, I think I went to the vending machine, grabbed a bag of hickory sticks and a root beer, and then went back to class and had a nap. I think I did that instead of changing my entire career path. I don't remember if it was that exactly. I mean, like, one can see how that would distract you from changing your entire career path, right? Many a time, geniuses and creative sort of giants have been close to the precipice of something great and instead decided to go to the vending machine and have a nap. I am amongst those now, unfortunately. What would have been? What amazing stories could have happened? What amazing things could have been made? One day I hope to be able to hire a fantastic artist and a fantastic writer, and I want to have an Eldara comic, like a weekly comic release. I have to like do it through IDW or something like that, but like I really do want to. That's like one of my creative goals. That's like on the list, which is crazy how long and how big the list is. The list is definitely ambitious and not healthy for me of all the projects that I want to do eventually. We're gonna actually do this on a separate, actually never mind, we'll just hatch it out a little bit. It's right up against his scalp, so I haven't done like an undercut in so long. I'm so happy this person requested it. Genderbent Beauregard is, or sorry, Ganderbant? Ganderbant? Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. She didn't say anything with a beard in this for this character. So, you didn't say anything about it or not about it. It means I have room for it, right? I don't know. Whatever. Alright, it's 1. I gotta go take care of a couple things. I gotta go do the thing. I gotta be responsible dog owner, husband, business owner, whatever else. That's pretty cool though today, the news of me getting into Calgary Comic Expo. So I'll have a table there, man. So I gotta do some prints. I gotta make some new prints. We got, oh shit, I only have 2 months to draw a new dragon. Uh-oh, wait, when are we gonna do this? Oh shit, I gotta draw a new dragon for this year's convention scene, and I gotta do my new bookmarks and other stuff. Oh fuck, we might do like a merch fucking design stream this week. Ooh, all right, I'm running out of time. I gotta get on this in the next like couple days here then if I want to put a big order in for shit. What day is that? Oh shit, sorry, the 11th. I'm fucked. I'll be fine. All right, thank you for hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. We almost finished our attractive half drow man, and so we might finish him tomorrow, and then also maybe finish Addie, our cool tiefling for Brooklyn. But either way, I will see you guys tomorrow. That's the plan. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Wednesday, yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, cool. I couldn't find out you're going to Calgary Comic Expo. A long time YouTube followers. This is big news. Oh shit, really? No, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, Snow Bluky, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'll be there. My wife, Ella, always has a table there for her dice, for Blackwood dice, and then I will be beside her with art and prints and shit. So
more to the Taco Bell fun before the stream is done. Smile.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 100-bit smell. So yeah, it's cool. Officially got a table right beside her. So that was on her, like, jumping on an opportunity and getting it, which is cool because that's one of the biggest conventions of the year. I don't love Edmonton Comic Expo or Fan Expo, but Calgary, it's very close to us. Like Calgary, we don't even need to get a hotel for. It's like just a very short drive into town. So that's gonna be sick. April's gonna be really cool, and that'll be a couple weeks before Baby arrives. So fingers crossed that Baby doesn't decide to arrive the weekend. I don't know. Whatever, it'll be fine. I'll see you guys tomorrow.